What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Big Think Dimension, the only gaming podcast for the modern Gigabrain gamer. I'm your host, Dan Video Games, and with me, as always, my online co-host, KZ Excellent.
I like Fig Newtons.
And Mr. Feel from Mr. Feel's Wild Ride.
Hey, everybody.
And also Bob.
Oh yeah, Fig Newtons are great.
Fig Newtons are great. I'm really glad we could start with a debate topic we all agree on, right, Mr. Feel? You don't have some
Yeah,
weird...
I love Fig Newtons, but I also like the apple bars.
The like apple flavored
They're
Fig
like
Newtons.
Fig Newtons, but instead of fig stuff, it's apple.
Those are good too. I'm totally down with that.
I was on a big Nutri-Grain bar kick a few months ago.
I eat a granola bar every day for the nutritional value.
Okay, Grandpa.
I don't know which of you two is sadder. You're on a Nutri-Grain kick for no reason, and he's like, I need my granola for nutrition.
One, it was a few months ago. Two, I'm not the one playing shuffleboard.
Look, I'm just saying, you're one step
Eating
above
this tapioca pudding.
You're one step above the only thing in my freezer is Hot Pockets.
Hey, tapioca is mainstream now. That's what bubbles and bubble tea are made of.
Yeah, it's true. Making a big comeback, tapioca. If you can invest in tapioca, do so today.
Let's not pretend I put Hot Pockets in my freezer. It's filled with Totino's crisp crust pizzas.
Jesus.
Oh God, those are the apps. Oh God.
One time, Bob and myself.
I got it for a bargain.
One time, Bob and myself were, children, the only demo that should eat fucking Totino's pizzas. And we baked.
What are you talking about?
No, there's another demo, Dan. There's another large demo.
That's true.
For Totino's pizzas.
Yeah, the other demo is gamers.
Yeah, exactly right.
Definitely.
I've seen the ads. But we baked the two pizzas half of the time they needed separately, and then we combined them into a pizza sandwich and then finished the baking, and it was great. And we did that once, and we're never doing it again. And that may be the last time I ate a Totino's pizza.
We nearly died that day.
That
I need to
reminds
buy
me
more.
of when I bought the Double Down the first time it ever came out. I ate like half of it, and I was walking down the road with other people. I was with other people, and everybody had to sit down because our legs felt like they were going to stop working because of this horrible grease ball of a food item.
Jesus Christ.
It also, I should explain what a Double Down is, because some people might not know.
They might live in more civilized societies.
The Double Down was a, quote, sandwich, unquote, that KFC had for a while, more than a decade ago. And it was two boneless fried chicken patties as buns. And inside it was cheese, bacon, and sauce that was probably just ranch dressing.
Knowing that you ate that, Mr. Feel, makes me feel better about my time frequenting the combination KFC Taco Bell. And how I would get their sadness bowl with the side of like a burrito or crunch wrap. I feel a little bit better about that, just a little bit.
The sadness pile and the failure bowl.
Yes.
I love both of those.
I do too. They're the best items on both of their menus. So why wouldn't I order both of them? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about food. Despite what the last several minutes might convince you, audience. We're here to talk about video games. So we start this off by talking about what we've been playing, then we move on to the news, and at the end we're going to answer your emails. Or maybe just read them and move on. Who knows? We'll find out when we get there. I'm going to start off with KZ. KZ, what have you been playing recently? Or what you been up to? Let's keep it vague.
Keep it vague. Keep it a secret. In terms of games, it's been nothing that I haven't been doing for the internet, which has just been Trails in the Sky, which has been all right. Been enjoying that. And, oh yeah, I did a little bit of Smash again, because that still has a hold on my life.
I'm very envious.
I get to play it like once every 8 or 9 days whenever it's time to stream. That's all the time I clock in. But it's fun. I make content out of it.
Yeah.
Eventually you'll return to that series.
I look forward to it. I really do.
Maybe one day you'll even boot up World of Light.
We'll get to find out if you're a cookie pocket.
No, I am not a cookie pocket. I'm not a
No,
cookie
Dan
holster
doesn't have
either.
cookie pocket energy.
What?
Dan does not possess cookie pocket energy. When somebody's a cookie,
What is his energy then?
not a cookie pocket, it's that of a civilized human being.
What is it, like roast beef pocket?
I feel like that's less civilized.
Dan is a well-civilized individual who would not carry snacks in his pockets.
I mean, he's
Yeah, but he'd be like, it's more productive so I can keep on working.
no. I would be like, man, pockets are fucking filthy. I'm not gonna put that in my mouth. What was I thinking? Was I high?
No, see, Dan will have one of those beer hats, but instead of beer in the sides, it'll be Soylent.
Oh my god. You know, that's actually, we did try Soylent for GigaBoots Eats, the higher tier patron exclusive series. We did try Soylent for that. Oh, wait, we were going to try it for that, but then we were like, maybe we just try it in general because there were scheduling problems. Yeah. We didn't have time. Yeah, that stuff's maybe not great.
We did try a very early batch of it, so it was very...
It wasn't the first version.
After a ton of mixing, it still felt kind of powdery.
It had, what was it? Somebody said it has a silt-like texture.
Yeah.
Your mouth feels like a basin after you drink it. And I was like, yeah, no, I absolutely feel that.
That sounds like what happens with Slim Fast, but more extreme.
Yeah, it is. It is that.
Slim Fast has kind of a silty texture.
Yeah, but I think Slim Fast actually uses like a gelatin or whatever to. Wait a second, this isn't a food podcast. You can't see you've been playing anything else.
Did you just say a Pokemon? Like gelatin?
A gelatin.
Oh,
with a T.
Well, by the way, that's all I played. I'll try and play something more relevant next week.
I actually did play something relevant this week, and that was a real struggle.
That's shocking.
Yeah, it was this thing of I had been up for, let's say, 18 hours. I guess I'll segue into what I was playing. I've been up for 18 hours on an hour and 20 minutes of sleep. That was all I got after I finished the final episode of Gamer Premonitions for Kingdom Hearts 3. That episode did great, by the way. We got like 5,000 views on that.
Whoa.
Bing bong.
Yeah, people are loving the Feel Madness lightning round.
Yep.
But yeah, after...
People keep sending him theories.
Yeah, I bet. After the whole day of... on an hour and 20 minutes of sleep of working my job, going and watching the Broly movie with Xeon and Dr. Aggro. Bob also went. I had to make the decision. Oh, and hooking up mics and testing them out and et cetera, so that way I could be prepared for today, or so I thought. We had equipment failure right before recording this. Anyway, I made the decision to not go to sleep then, even though my body was screaming for it. I was like, I'm going to play some games so I have something to talk about on this fucking podcast. So I hooked up our PlayStation VR, which we've owned since Black Friday when we got it on a really good deal. We haven't...
Dan, it's been 2 months.
Yeah, we didn't have a single fucking day to hook this up since Black Friday. But then I was doing some news research and I saw that the Ace Combat 7 demo came out on the Japanese store, and I was like, hell yes, I absolutely am going to hook that up and check that out. That demo needs to have a longer timer. But hooking up the PlayStation VR, getting used to that again. I say again because there was a period of time where I owned a PlayStation VR. Much closer to launch, the software was way more limited. The redesign that they did makes it easier to wear headphones, like normal headphones, instead of earbuds while wearing it, which is pretty nice. I kind of forgot since, real quick, Feel, KZ, have either of you tried PlayStation VR?
No,
I have not.
Okay, so
it's scary.
It's fucking dope. The thing I forgot about since trying it then was that your field of view is actually really limited compared to a lot of different VR things. So, like, it looks 3D and stuff, but if you set it on your face correctly, there's a lot of blackness. Like, there's a lot of you can't see stuff outside of your field of view. And it's sufficient. It does a great job, especially for the price, because, like, what, Oculus is twice as much? something like
Something like that.
It's ludicrous.
Yeah, I think Oculus is like $800, $900.
I know that the Vive is like $800, but I think the Oculus is somewhere between $400 and $600.
Yeah, it's like it was
or $600 and $800. But the PlayStation VR on Black Friday was like $200 and came with 2 of the best games on the platform. And it was like, oh shit, I've been wanting it because it had Zone of the Enders 2. Why not get it? So we did, and now finally unlocked it. But yeah, once I got used to using it again, I tried out a few games. I tried out the Ace Combat 7 demo. As I said, the timer's really short, but it's kind of really incredible. And it just makes me wish someone would make a Pilot Wings-like game for VR.
Of course.
Because a lot of the splendor isn't like, oh, cool, I'm doing awesome air combat.
Is this your new bouncer? Are you just going to mention Pilot Wings every day?
Not every day. I didn't mention it yesterday. Admittedly, we recorded no content, so you wouldn't know either way. But yeah, no, like a lot
this
of
Broly movie's great. Now let me tell you guys about
the Ace Combat.
Yeah, about Pilot Wings.
It would be way funnier if Ace Combat was my Pilot Wings. I'm like, this is real cool, but let me tell you about the F-17 and how its Tomahawk missiles can lock on. But yeah, when you're in that VR headset, a lot of the like coolness of it, like at the beginning of it, I'm locking my head forward and I'm just looking forward. I'm treating it like it's a normal display. But once I thought about like, right, it's a fucking VR headset, I'm looking around the cockpit and like shoving my head into the corners and looking at dials and shit. Mm-hmm. I can look behind me. It's really cool. But Ace Combat 7 really pushes someone. Like if you're gonna try VR for the first time, I would never try Ace Combat 7 because you're flipping upside down over the earth and looking up in order to track an enemy that flew overhead.
I mean, that's really cool.
It's fucking cool, but I don't know if it was the fact I was running on an hour and 20 minutes of sleep and that wasn't the first game I booted or what, but it didn't make me nauseous, but it put me in a state of discomfort because it was too much.
I can't imagine using VR when tired.
I thought I'd puke. Honestly, I was curious. I was like, I wonder. But no.
You're just gonna puke on Bob's floor one day.
And Bob's not even here. He's asleep. He just wakes up to a weird smell of vomit in his living room and a hooked up PlayStation VR.
Wonder what happened here.
Why does it smell like Nutri-Grain bars?
Good Lord.
Why does it smell like pizza flavored Hot Pockets?
Oh.
Melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
So the surprising thing, the Ace Combat 7, just to wrap on that, Ace Combat 7 demo, really cool. The reason why I said the Pilot Wings comment is because I'm less interested in doing the combat in that and more interested in just basic maneuvering. Because flying really close to the water, flying really close to the island and other stuff like that is really cool. And if you have headphones that are hooked into the headset's own stereo jack, it does have 3D audio. So as you turn your head, it'll properly sound in 3D. What's
that PS2 game that's all about flying planes? It's more like Pilot Wings.
Shit. Fucking
God.
A lot of them?
No, it's a PS2 launch game. It's
Alucard voices.
He voices
everything.
The narrator. It's amazing. Activision
Was it a launch game?
Yeah, it was a launch game. Sky Odyssey.
Yeah,
Sky Odyssey is a really cool game.
That would be great in VR.
It would, honestly. Moving on, I kept hearing as I listened to various gaming websites deliberations for Game of the Year about how the Tetris effect has a really transformative feeling in VR and how good it is. And it's better than doing it on the display, right?
Right.
So I tried that. I completely disagree with them. It was much better just on the TV with headphones. And it's not that we have a better TV than them. These people, some of them have literally our TV or better.
Right.
So I don't understand, because what happens is the playfield is so you have one of two options, because for anyone who's played the Tetris effect, you know that you can use the left stick to bring yourself closer to the playfield.
Yeah.
So it's either so far away so you can see the whole thing that it doesn't look that deep, like it doesn't have a lot of depth, or you move so close that you can't see what your hold block is, what the next block is, and half of the playfield at any given time. On top of that, the particle effects don't really get that close to you, because if they did, like all the pretty shit,
Right.
it would obfuscate the playfield. So I don't know why VR was supposed to be a better experience than what I had with it, but I was actually pretty disappointed by that.
Because your OLED's too good.
Yeah, it's too strong. Its heart's too strong for VR to top it.
Its heart's too strong.
I imagine it's probably like what's that one game? Res.
Yeah.
Where it's more just about zoning out and having a quote unquote euphoric experience than
Right. See, that's the thing. I had that more with
You had no weed.
That was my mistake. Sorry, everyone. I should have known
all
better.
these game journalists are just getting high and not talking about that part.
They're like, Tetris Effect is fucking incredible, man. I sat there eating 3 large pizzas.
all their offices are in places where
Weed's legal.
criminalization already happened.
Yep. But no, like, as I said, they own the same TV as us, if not better, if not bigger. You know, some of them own the huge version of this fucker.
They all have it set up like your brother, where it's so far away from them they can't really get into it.
I don't know. I don't get it. Because I had that experience, that euphoric experience, you know, with the normal TV and the headphones. VR really didn't do anything for me there. And I was like, shit, what if VR is just a really lame gimmick and it sucks? So I played Zone of the Enders 2, which we bought the VR version of a few months ago, right after we bought, or I guess 2 months ago, right after we bought the VR headset on Black Friday. That thing's dope as shit. Zone of the Enders 2 in fucking VR is really cool. Like, you're getting to play the game and see all those cutscenes in proper 3D and everything. And it's just really neat to get to see them in depth, because it's PS2 quality models. And it's like, oh, yeah, Jehudi doesn't have modeled fingers. It just has a flat texture of fingers on its, like, box-like hand. And it's really cool.
Yeah, it has the Powerpuff Girl hands.
Yeah. It's great. But the weird thing for that, and then I'm going to move off this entirely. Well, that and one last thing, and then I'll move off this entirely. When cutscenes kick in, you're not in the cutscene, okay? What happens with the cutscenes is they play on a projected screen in front of you. So imagine a rectangular or a rectangle in space that has the screen on it, like a movie theater would, right? Okay, so you're thinking, like, and Firehawk, friend of the channel, mentioned that this is how this works, right? So you're like, okay, that's lame, it's 2D. No, it's 3D, it's just in a box. Because I guess they thought if all these jump cuts and snap zooms and things like that, if it filled your peripheral vision, that would fuck you up.
You're at least still first person for those sections where they're talking to you in the cockpit, right?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, that part's perfectly normal. For anyone who hasn't seen footage of the game, you are the game in VR, rather. You're inside of the mech's cockpit, so you can literally look up and see Jehudi's head above you. Doing attacks doesn't move you, though. It doesn't swing you around your perspective, because I feel like that would make people motion sick.
Yeah, that'd probably make it
terrible.
beyond difficult to play, too.
Right. So, but yeah, that was a surprisingly good experience. And then the last thing, as I was sitting here like, oh man, what if VR is really crappy and gimmicky and terrible, and that would be sad. I booted up Thumper again, which I bought the first time we had the PlayStation VR. Thumper is fucking dope. Have either of you, KZ and Ristafeel, seen Thumper?
That's the one with the metal car going down the thing, right?
Yeah, it's a steel beetle that flies down a track at 1,000,000 miles an hour as a fucking metal album cover art unfolds in the background, and it's a rhythm game.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I got it confused with Beat Saber for a second, because that's the other big VR.
No, that's a
rhythm game.
That's in Kingdom Hearts 2.
But yeah, Thumper's still really great. Really good game. Even better in VR. So maybe I'll have a better impression of these things going forward. And maybe Ace Combat will have a mode that's just like fly through some rings. Land this jet. Good job. No bogeys.
It'll have a mode that's just Top Gun for
NES.
NES.
Yeah, I feel like, well, I crashed just getting too close to the water because I didn't have a good sense of where the bottom of my jet was. And I was like, man, I want to like get really close to the water. And I slammed into it. And let me tell you, that spatial audio fucked with me really bad because I thought something behind me and to the right just made an insanely loud sound in real life.
Good.
It fucking freaked me out. But then on the damage thing, it pops up, oh, your wheel or whatever's damaged. And I'm like, oh, okay. I was terrified, though, this entire time. Because keep in mind, I set this all up after Bob went to sleep. I was terrified at any moment Bob would come up and just try to calmly be like, hey, man. And it would fucking scare the shit out of me. And I would throw my headphones and the headset to the ground because I can't see anything.
Now I'm just imagining Bob waking up bleary-eyed and Dan is in his living room holding the PlayStation Eye remotes and wearing the VR headset. He's like, has his hands in the air and a foot in the air, and he's yelling and cheerful, and Bob's just like, huh?
I'm wearing sweatpants and no shirt, and I'm sweaty because I've been playing Beat Saber.
God.
What the fuck?
I'm just kidding. None of that.
Dan's really excited because he's playing the new VR game that's just a world with no audio problems.
I can't get into this game. It's not realistic.
Maybe video games as a form of escapism is all right.
Dan's real excited to try the next game on the next immersive VR experience, 8 hours of sleep a night.
Seems unrealistic.
Casey's like, how could anybody live on that little?
On only 8 hours.
Sometimes I get 9 hours and I feel horrible. Only got half my sleep.
Casey, I hate you.
Dude, I slept 15 hours yesterday.
That sounds awesome, and I'm envious.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
We're gonna move.
I don't know.
Both me and Dad are just sitting here like
1:30 p.m. to 5:30 a.m.
I felt great
God.
today, Casey. I got 4 hours.
It's okay. You'll get some after this podcast.
don't even joke.
That's right. Bob's gonna edit this episode.
Oh my God.
But
Not my fault.
also, not sure if most people know this. I played a game called Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance on Sunday.
Dream dab distance.
It was pretty good.
It was really good.
That break time was real good. So, because of that stream, I guess we're doing another stream where we watch some really bad Kingdom Hearts movie.
Recoded days, and then apparently Bob is forced to play
0.2.
0.2 at gunpoint, I think.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Can you do it at gunpoint? That feels like it's a lot of pressure.
There's a lot of pressure. I mean, they'll shoot me if I don't, though, right?
He's allowed to die. All he has to do is play it.
Yeah, that's all I've been playing. Just a bunch of VR stuff. I got set up for a certain Kingdom Hearts thing that may show up in our news, but I'm not going to jump ahead to that. Hey, Bob.
What's up?
What have you been playing?
The only game I really played this whole week was Gris. Or Gris? It's Gris. It released I think about a month ago.
I've been hearing stuff about that.
Yeah, I've heard about Gris. I haven't played it yet, though.
That is way more art project than video game. There's a lot of moments in it where you're literally just hold right, walk to the right.
Okay.
It's like one of those have this experience. It's rather than being a game.
Yeah, a little bit more.
The
worst part is like it pretends to have like it's a platformer, like it has mechanics that could be developed more.
Yeah, because it adds mechanics.
Right, you're getting new mechanics all throughout. Like you get a glide, and they start introducing things like gravity reversing, but it just doesn't expand on it at all. Like it just is the most. It feels like you're constantly in a tutorial.
Yeah,
and that's not good.
That's no good.
It kind of looking at it, it kind of reminds me of El Shaddai.
That was a drastically better game.
That game was amazing.
El Shaddai is fucking miserable.
That game is it's not good, but it is hilarious.
Don't mistake it for a good game.
Is that Bob's Bouncer?
Uh-oh.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm gonna deflect and just say
El Shaddai felt like way more of a video game than this does.
Yeah.
Say El Shaddai.
That's not to its strength, though. Like you saying, oh, El Shaddai's more of a game. It has this horrible combat with 3 weapons that feel like rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, no, El Shaddai.
El Shaddai's more of a game. The game's bad.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I know
like-
in this room the preference is bad game over art game that's toothless mechanically.
Right. Like,
Because, here's the thing, guys. You need to understand. We've played every That Game Company game. Like, Flow, Flower, Journey, or at least I have.
Yeah.
Those are vastly closer to games based on mechanics than Gris. Gris really is hold right, jump occasionally, and watch this art. But the art...
See pretty animations.
Yeah, see pretty animations. But then it isn't, moving. I didn't feel like... I don't know. To each their own.
Didn't feel good.
No, it wasn't even that, though, I'm sure.
yeah, the movement felt okay. Like, it wasn't great.
One of
But
the weirdest
there's-
parts visually with the game is that it runs at almost locked solid 60, but then the animation is 12 frames per second, for your character.
Oh, there's
So-
the money.
It's got a real disconnect there, and at some point I'm like, maybe just lock 30. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that would have made it feel worse. But it's not like the game literally avoids having fail states, but
I feel like
Then-
looking at it, I feel like it being 60 makes the scrolling better because it seems like they zoom in and pull out the camera a lot too, which would benefit from it being 60.
and they do these smooth color palettes over the whole screen.
You
They
mean
already
gradients?
the gradients and other things like splashes of color, which look like they're just videos that have been color changed to it looked like it was a smoke puff or something, and then they color changed to red.
So what he's trying to say is in the background, you'll see an explosion of color, right?
Ooh.
It literally looks like one of our effects packages just color graded to be the color deep purple shifted to blue somewhat with a gradient applied to it. So
I
the
thought
whole
you were
time,
gonna say it looks like one of your outros for Patreon.
yeah,
It is that level.
we
I
have
don't-
used the effects we're talking about in one of those.
if anyone's ever heard of Video Copilot, Andrew Kramer runs a great series.
He runs a tutorial series on how to make some really good visual effects using basic video and some Adobe After Effects. And this felt like somebody was repurposing these effects packages of we blew up a box, we set a box on fire, we caused smoke to come out of the thing, and then they just color graded it and went, isn't it artistic? So it's kind of I don't know. It's just, it didn't grip me in a way that any of Flow, Flower, and Journey. I'm not saying they're the pinnacle of art games. I just used them as a comparison because they don't really have super deep mechanics either, and they don't have massive fail states or anything like that.
Looking at
Right.
footage for this, I definitely could see liking Journey or the other one they made, the water one,
Yeah.
more.
The weird thing is that
Because
it does
it
boss
being a
fights.
side-scrolling platformer makes me feel like it's like I'm more detached from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And not in a way that serves the game. You can do that perspective and detach the audience as a message. You can do that as a part of your theming or whatever. But in this case, it just felt kind of boring and unengaging in a way. What do you think, Bob?
Yeah, I don't.
You were saying something about boss fights a second ago.
Literally, it'll throw boss fights at you, but there's a game that literally won't try or doesn't want to have any way for you to fail. So you can just not do anything, and you won't be hurt.
It's
the boss
true.
basically
They got
plays
parries.
itself.
They're trying to scare you with the boss, but the boss will just sit there and do a scary animation and then just back off for no reason.
Yeah, it's a eel chases you. Say
I would say Bob spent half of the game trying to die, and it wouldn't let him.
there was a point I was frustrated with the game, and I just did that.
That's like when I played Dear Esther, and I realized that you walk really unbearably slow, and you can't move any faster.
So let me put it this way: I'd rather play Dear Esther. Oh, and the last kicker, the ending is in the trailer,
Yeah,
which is kind of a sin
Oh, come on.
with an art
Right?
game.
Yeah, no, literally, there are scenes from the ending in that trailer for it,
And it's not
and
like
the game
the
is
ending's
2
very
hours
long.
or something. Yeah,
The ending isn't very long, so using any scenes from it in the trailer is kind of...
Yeah, that might have even been literally the end of the ending.
I think it was.
Yeah, it's weird.
So
I can't recommend it. I was given it as a gift from Brendan.
Brendan O'Sullivan.
Brendan O'Sullivan,
Sorry.
patron of the channel.
Brendan O'Sullivan. But yeah, I'm glad
to make this content.
He helped make this content. He's like, "Where's my quick play?" And we're like, "Oh fuck."
He found us.
Listen to the podcast. That's good enough, right? Because I was interested in this game. You see tweets of GIFs and stuff around the time it came out where it's like, holy shit, that looks really pretty.
Right, and I figured it was going to be like an art game that looked really cool and then actually did things with those mechanics. It's like the trailers kind of show off, oh, there's going to be like these different kind of platforms and things like that, and that's going to actually expand on that, and it really just doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, even Ibn Ob, like, I'm not dissing Ibn Ob, but Ibn Ob had a lot of neat platform mechanics that was
really neat.
Developed, but were interesting and fun to play with.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you play anything else?
That was all I got to play. That was the one game I got to play this week.
The highlight of your week.
Dream
you also
Drop
got to play Riku.
Yeah, Riku is cool.
Riku's a cool dude.
I'd buy a game that was just Riku.
He's what nightmares fear.
He's what nightmares fear. That line was too good.
Finally, I could fight something other than boredom.
Mr. Feel, what have you been up to lately?
I've played 2 games. The first is Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition.
Oh, you like Tales of Vesperia? I never knew.
Yeah, I don't talk about it ever. It's not like it's my second favorite game of all time or anything. But yeah, it's out. It's great. It's
definitely no pilot wings.
It cleaned up really, really well because it has an art style that's very friendly to being upscaled and polished up.
Yeah, as it turns out, games with good art direction kind of do that.
Weird.
What platform are you on?
I'm playing it on PS4.
Oh, okay. Pro or original?
Pro. I have a PS4 Pro.
It's got the legendary Bandai Namco dubbing thing they decided to do for that game.
Yeah, luckily I'm half deaf and can't tell it all.
Are they speaking English? I can't hear them.
What they did is because Troy Baker voices the protagonist.
Yeah.
And he couldn't come back because of union reasons, so they didn't even contact him.
Weird.
And they contacted Matthew Mercer, who said no because he's tired of being Troy Baker's replacement.
Aww.
So they got somebody else, but instead of redubbing, and people are thinking this was a money saving thing, and I don't think that's it. I think it was like, I think the logic was Troy Baker as Yuri Lowell was really, really popular. We don't want to get rid of that, even if it causes a weird disconnect when he has a different voice in the new scenes from the PS3, which he does. And I have been told that they don't sound very much alike, but I honestly can't tell because I'm half deaf.
You will get them mid-fight.
Yeah, because there's new attacks, so it'll change voice actors, and I think one of the others got replaced too.
You know, that's kind of like if they came out with a new Kingdom Hearts game and Pete's voice changed from Cat Dog to say Fred Tadashori, who played the Beast from the Beauty and Beast Brigade in Metal Gear Solid 4. It'd be kind of like that. Because they both do that sort of big scary guy voice, but...
if I really focus, I can sort of hear it, but I think it's like he can kind of do the same voice, but he can't really emote doing it.
Feel is in a sensory deprivation chamber where the only sound is this, and he's like, yeah, I think those are different guys. I think I'm finally noticing.
Feel can't tell the difference between voices, meanwhile everyone thinks everyone sounds like Feel.
Yeah.
Oh, no! I didn't even put that together.
Like today I got Todd Howard.
You do not sound like Todd Howard. That's just someone making a joke about how short you are, which isn't real either.
Correct.
Yeah, it is. You are short.
No one is as short as Todd Howard, though.
Yeah, he's like 5'5".
Yeah, Kojima giants.
No.
Kojima dunks
the other
him.
one I played was Soul Nomad and the World Eaters, which is a PS2 game.
That's been sitting on my shelf. I bought it at launch. I haven't played it yet. Been too busy.
Casey, he's been a very busy man. Bob's been a very busy man for the last 12 years.
He's like 15 years old.
I wish that were true.
It's okay, Bob. It just feels kind of overly complicated, like mechanically. Like it's not like it's a Nippon Ichi software game, so like Disgaea and Makai Kingdom and
And that's
Phantom
why
Brave.
it seems a little bit too complicated.
No, actually those games are completely simple.
They just have a lot of stuff in them.
They just have a lot of like grind until your number is so big.
Go inside your item and then grind the monsters inside the item.
Yeah, item dungeons.
But
it's great.
instead of having single units, you have like squads that work as one unit. It's kind of like Advance Wars. It's like anime character Advance Wars, except you set your squads.
Huh.
And there's different formations, and different classes will do different attacks based on whether they're front, mid, or rear.
That does sound very complicated.
And here's the part that's almost making me check out. You can't set up your squads however you want. You have to roll for random formations.
Oh. Oh, that's awful.
Like I'm not that far in the game. I'm like maybe 2 hours into the game, and I have 3 squads. And the way that works is I'm like, well, I don't really like this formation. Luckily, you can lock some of the squads so they won't re-roll. But you have to like mash a random button until you get a formation that you like.
That just seems random.
That sounds miserable.
Yeah.
It's very strange. And another thing that's strange about it is it's more beneficial to be passive because the main way your units are going to heal is if you put a cleric into the squad. But if you attack a unit, your cleric will heal everybody, and then they'll attack, and then the enemy will attack back like Fire Emblem rules. The enemy, you let the enemy attack, here's what'll happen. I'll go attack an enemy, and then they'll attack me back, and then they'll attack me again, so I end up eating 2 attacks before I get to heal.
What the fuck?
Because it'll go, my unit attacks, the cleric heals during my attack. And then the enemy counterattacks. And then it's the enemy's turn, and they attack, and then I counterattack.
How the hell does this make any sense?
Yeah, maybe there's something that changes. There's stuff you can do, like I found an item that makes your team always go second, even when you attack, which seems beneficial. But then I lost it, because I think it was, you can only have it equipped to one squad for one battle.
What?
Or maybe I didn't realize that if you shuffle the rooms, anything, because you equip things to the entire squad, there's not individual equipment. So maybe I didn't realize that if I re-roll the room with items on it, I just lose the items. It has a lot of systems.
I bought this game a few months back. I am never playing this.
The story's pretty good though, although whoa boy, that is a 2006 localization. Like if you ever want to make a master cut of Yuri Lowenthal saying things that would not be acceptable in 2019, play Soul Nomad.
Do you have an example?
He uses the R slur a lot.
Ooh.
That's like the character's favorite word.
Call people rambunctious.
The plot is you're a self-insert character with no personality.
Ooh. And
you get possessed by Gig, who is an ancient demon.
Ooh.
And basically he's like, okay, I'll help you on your quest to kill all these big monsters around the world, but then you got to give me your body. And he's like in your head, and he eventually gains the ability to talk out loud to other people. And have you ever played Okage?
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to that, except more vulgar and more anime-esque.
Even more anime than Okage?
I'll probably stick with it a little bit longer just to see if I'm missing anything. I'm going to try to figure it out before I say it's bad.
Right.
Yeah. You're busy though. You got to do your critical mode run of Birth by Sleep.
But it's definitely doesn't have the same unga bunga monkey brain appeal that a Disgaea game has, where I just go, I'm going to go through all this item world and all the numbers are going to go up. And then when I finish, the numbers on the weapon will go up.
Right? That it feels real good.
Yeah, it feels great. It's like an idle game that's been turned into a tactics game.
And then you make the big geo pattern thing, and then you will have to watch that for 5 minutes. It's like dominoes, and it's really satisfying.
Yeah.
I like when they added cheat mode to Disgaea, so you could just tinker with the numbers a bunch.
Yeah, that was a good mechanic. I'm glad they had. That's one of the few mechanics they added that I don't dislike.
I wish they would make a new Makai Kingdom.
Like I played when I was playing through 5, I kept going through one of the early areas with maxed out difficulty because it had a geo setup that made it so you could just win almost immediately.
And then you get a bunch of bonus experience and shit.
Yeah, it was the easiest, most brain dead way to get a character up to relatively high level. Nothing will be as good as in the first game when you could go to the map that has invincible floor for all but one space and you box the enemy in that space.
Yeah, you stack the enemies on top of each other until they're one super enemy.
Yeah, and there's just no way to lose.
This guy is a very smart game series.
It's really the thinking man strategy RPG.
It is. It has to be big to enjoy it.
It's all right. I kind of think it got a little bit weak after 3.
Yeah.
Especially Disgaea D2. Oh boy.
Can we not?
Let's move on.
Did you play anything else, Mr. Field?
Nope.
Okay, well.
He played a game called Noop.
I think that's everybody's week.
Yeah, that's everyone's week. Let's go ahead and move on to the news.
And since we were just talking about, Nippon Ichi Software, I should probably start with this specific story.
Sure.
Trails of Cold Steel 3 being localized by Nippon Ichi Software of America due out later this year.
I'm sure that'll go great. Always does, right?
It probably will. See, everybody's expecting me to be a frothing at the mouth lunatic, but no, I'm not going to do that. Because they said outright, we hired
this podcast funny.
We hired people who worked on the previous ones to work on this one because we're incompetent.
That's good.
The we're incompetent part was implied. It was like when you read a news story and there's the parentheses like they meant to say this.
You're right, yeah. We hired new people, parentheses, because we're incompetent, and parentheses.
Yeah, have they said if that's going to get a dub or not?
Oh, it's getting a dub. Sean Chiplock, who is the voice of Reen Schwartzer, the protagonist of Trails of Cold Steel, was on Twitter like, well, we're back, everybody. And then he went to 4chan and started doing Vocaroo requests of lines. Because he does that.
He did.
Amazing.
He did multiple of them.
He's real active in like the community. He had a Tumblr for a while and would do, because before they went insane and voiced every single line in the PC release, to the point where the English version of Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2 now have more vocal lines than the Japanese version.
Wow.
Back before they went insane and did that, he on his Tumblr, he'd just be like, send me a Trails of Cold Steel line you want me to voice. And then he'd put it up on Tumblr.
That's amazing.
But yeah, they've got all the voice cast back, which also gives me hope, because I think a couple of them flat out said they didn't want to work with Nippon Ichi Software of America. I forget which ones, or if this is even real. I might have dreamed it. But
he posted a little bit about that because I decided to look up that thread that he was doing Vocaroos in.
I think that happened, and being all on board with this makes me think that they were like, no, here's who we got. It's going to be fine. They do have the same voice director as the Xseed releases too, which also makes me think they're serious. Like if they didn't just get one person.
I have to wonder if Xseed, are they just debunked now or something?
No.
Okay.
No, they're the English branch of Marvelous, but everybody related to Falcom is gone.
Jeez.
Like Brittany Avery, I think is her name, Hatsu. She left like in November, and so did Tom
Hanks.
God damn it. No, KZ, believe it or not, Tom Hanks does not work and has never worked at Xseed.
But yeah, that's kind of when I made peace with it, because I just realized, like, wow, all the Falcom people left, and it's kind of obvious it's because they're not going to ever have the work they want working at Xseed, which is why I wasn't really caught off guard by this. That, and because somebody sent me promotional material about it like a week ago, and I was like, that gave me time to deal with the Band-Aid being ripped off.
Yeah.
Lay your egg.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic about it. I don't think it'll be bad.
I hope for the best.
Oh, another thing is they didn't announce a PC port, which makes me think they learned.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they were like, we're going to have a PC port of Ys 8 out same day. And then they couldn't, and the port was destroyed from them trying to rush it so bad, which makes me think they're going to be like, let's get the game out and not ruined, and then we'll make a PC port.
Maybe quietly work on the PC port until it's almost done. Like most companies, goddammit.
Maybe release a product that we don't need to completely redub in a month.
Or that Disgaea 5 thing that happened, where they put out a demo and it immediately got cracked for the whole game.
See, the East 8 thing, as bad as it was, also makes me think that they're taking this more seriously, because, one, they lost their ass on that. Because most people don't know this. Pushing out patches costs money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Was it like on consoles and at like $20,000?
It's like 50.
Yeah, it's up there.
Mamma mia.
So they had to patch it multiple times. They had to hire freelancers to relocalize the game. They then
big hole.
They then got the voice actors back to revoice the altered scenes. And then the PC port, which was in development like 8 months longer than they intended, and switched developers midstream, came out broken and needed a lot of work and sold like nothing because the word got out fast that it was broken. And the whole thing, Nippon Ichi Software, the Japanese branch, ended up making a Switch port of Ys 8 for free as an apology because the president of Nippon Ichi Software and the president of Falcom are friends. So I think there was probably some not very pleasant phone calls involved between those two branches.
Probably very unpleasant. Yeah, I would imagine. You know what else switched developers halfway through and has had a very troubled history?
What?
Mighty Number 9 on the 3DS, because two different companies tried to port that shit to the 3DS, and apparently it's just not fucking happening, which, no shit! It runs on Unreal Engine 3! What were they expecting? One of the best parts, though, in my opinion, is when the first developer in charge of porting it to the Vita and 3DS, literally, after they canceled the contract with Concept, came out and said they didn't even provide us with the assets properly so we could do this. It was hopeless because they could not work with us right. We just had to cancel it because they would not fulfill their end of the contract. So what it sounds like from everything that first porting company said, Concept kind of just planned on them maybe remaking the game, which isn't what they do at all. They were afraid to give them the source code or anything else so they could properly port it. And we have Nintendo.
Nobody can see. Nobody can ever see the inside. It's like sausage.
They'll know.
Don't ask.
And so now we have Nintendo Europe's website properly delisting that game. Mighty Number 9 has been delisted from Nintendo Europe's website as upcoming 3DS games. And I feel pretty good.
It's just like,
thanks, con man.
Somebody loads up Mighty Number 9 on their 3DS, takes their stylus out of their 3DS and hands it to somebody, and it just explodes like a grenade.
Yeah. I mean, the Wii U was bricked. Of course, the 3DS would just explode.
Why is Concept so consistently bad at actually providing people with things? Like, I know
their entire job is twofold, right? They have two jobs at Concept: come up with game ideas, arrange business arrangements. So why are they so bad at both?
Probably because Keiji Inafune didn't know dick about operating without Capcom's support network, and then stepped out and realized all the things Capcom was doing for him without him even thinking about them. And now he's just fucked.
It's almost like he's a dipshit who failed upward his entire career to the point where, and he literally says this himself, he's like, when I told them I was resigning, not a single one said they were sad or were worried about me leaving or asked when it was going to happen. They just took my resignation. And I'm like, I wonder why. Let's ask Dark Void.
I'm never gonna get over. It was in the.
Don't talk about Dark Void.
I will absolutely talk about that. That generation is full of so many outsourced AAA games where the dumbest fucking decisions were made, and that man was at the fucking helm of it. It's so stupid.
We have to outsource them because Japanese devs aren't good.
They're not.
You know, your plot's real good, but what if his dead wife was in his arm?
That's Kino.
I'll never get over the it was in the Stop Skeletons from Fighting Mighty Number 9 video.
Yeah.
Where they quote Keiji Inafune when he was asked in an interview how he could be so sure that Concept would succeed when so many other small companies have failed. And Keiji Inafune's response was, quote, "Those other companies didn't have Keiji Inafune."
You know, that may be the part of that haunts you. The part of that haunts me is the part where we ran a more competent Kickstarter than them because we accounted for the margins of Kickstarter, a thing they apparently forgot to do. I guess they thought Kickstarter was a fucking charity because they're sitting there and they're like, oh, we didn't anticipate giving so much money to Kickstarter. Now all these stretch goals aren't technically possible. It's fucking insane. God damn it. Oh,
Just run another Kickstarter.
Just run.
I thought the most cursed part for you would be when you drove 90 minutes at midnight to get it from a Walmart.
Hey, whoa. I drove, 50 total, if you count both ways. That doesn't cover it. The part where I drove 50 minutes round trip, which technically Bob drove. I was too busy tweeting videos. The part where I paid $30, way less than what they expected from your patron for an average version of it, like physical copy, etc., etc. I still don't have that physical copy.
I thought there was no physical copy. Wasn't that drama like they announced once they partnered with Deep Silver?
Let me explain.
They announced the physical version.
No, let me.
And then they said no, Kickstarter backers can't get it.
No, let me explain. There's a physical version. Guess what's holding it up? Fangamer said that Concept had not properly sent over the assets for them to make it.
I remember this Fangamer was like, they didn't send us shit, so we can't make the stuff.
Yep.
It wasn't really a real physical game.
It was a
USB
USB
version. Yeah.
But it's in the shape of a Famicom cartridge or an NES cartridge, depending on which you chose. And Concept would not send them the game and the assets for producing the cartridge thing.
I recall them having like a box or something for Mighty Number 9 that they would send out.
So,
like a booklet and
the booklet didn't fit in the box.
Let me explain what happened there.
Yeah, I remember that because Carl was one of the unlucky people who just got broken, bent up, fucked up goods.
The thing that happened with that is there's an American box version and a Japanese Famicom style box version. They shipped out the wrong box with the wrong manual and stuff, so it couldn't fit inside of the box.
What a fucking disaster.
That part I want to say is Fangamer's fault, but I don't know. They had to deal with Keiji Inafune. That man is constantly innovating on ways to fail.
No, hear me out, guys. If you change the dimensions like this, it'll make it better.
So I actually didn't have that problem. You want to know why? I got both boxes because I backed that game for $250 fucking dollars. They can't send me the wrong manual because I got both boxes. And they sit there in the corner of this fucking room. And I look at them.
They don't break.
I'm so glad the Homestuck game got canceled. That was like a fucking the curse being lifted from me.
No, it's coming back.
No, it isn't. Here's the thing I didn't even know. There's like 15 additional spin-off games that they didn't even mention on the Kickstarter because Kickstarter people would want them for free and they solely exist to try to fund part 2.
Yep.
Oh.
They're dating sims.
Quadrants?
Yes, they're troll dating sims. It's exclusively with trolls.
Hey, Bob, we should
Let's
change
move
to
on.
another news story before we have to talk more about Homestuck.
Speaking of garbage and things that were doomed from the start, I have something here in my probably doomed games segment. Kingdom Hearts VR experience has been delayed again.
But it's only been delayed till next
January,
week.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, so here's the timeline for it. If you don't know, they're doing a Kingdom Hearts VR experience where you can swing a Keyblade, you can watch cutscenes with a free roam camera thing, and it was supposed to come out December 25th. Then it was delayed to January 18th, and then it was delayed again to January 23rd because they very much want this to get out before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, and this shit's doomed.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I think this game's gonna come out and it's gonna be real bad.
I think footage has come out and it looks bad, but I mean you'll be able to swing a Keyblade around. What more do you want, KZ?
As long as I can zoom in on Terra and Riku's abs.
I will have nothing. I will have nothing to do with the Kingdom Hearts VR experience except for the stream I'll be forced to be in with Dan.
Excellent. Yeah, that actually,
Yes.
I didn't mention it earlier because I wanted to bring it up during this news post. That is actually why I set up the PlayStation VR, because I'm not going to wait for the game to come out to do it. I needed it to be ready in advance.
Oh, no.
What? I'm trying to get a comprehensive Kingdom Hearts experience here. Obviously, I can't go into Kingdom Hearts 3 without experiencing the Kino VR experience.
Watch, Casey. They need to get it out because it's gonna have some insane, like, lore-breaking stuff in there.
God, I hope not.
There's a non-zero chance.
There's a non-zero chance, but it's like
It's not gonna happen, but there's a non-zero chance anyway.
Oh, come on, KZ. There's people who are saying Vanitas is going to become a good guy because his theme is in the hero theme section of the concert.
It's true. People are
Just like
saying
those
that.
secret cutscenes they put in the concerts. That's real.
I'm gonna glaze right over that. And
If you want, I could pull up those Kingdom Hearts 3 theories again.
no, please don't.
Dan, go, Dan, pick a story.
By the way, new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer dropped today.
Yeah, how was that?
It was cool. A couple of new scenes showed off different gameplay styles, like Rage Form, which is like the dark anti-form that you always got in Kingdom Hearts 2.
It's like anti-form, but you have to choose and has like you can sacrifice your health to do more damage and stuff. Looks neat.
Sora's getting a devil trigger.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
he has like a berserk mode.
and they have a little bit more of the Sora, everybody gets owned and Sora cries scene where Sora goes sicko mode and attacks Xehanort.
I hear KZ has a reaction video on his channel.
He just goes straight up is Broly.
It was raw.
Yeah, actually, I guess we didn't talk about that at all. That Broly movie's good, you guys. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like a
I
competently
saw
made
Xeon
film.
saying it was good, so I had to assume it must have been bad.
I mean, no, here's where he fucked up, and I know Xeon's listening to this, and he knows I disagree with him, so whatever.
This stinky man.
He gives it an 8 out of 10. He gives the GT special a 10 out of 10, and he gives the Bardock special a 10 out of 10, but he fucking ranks the Broly movie, the only actually good Dragon Ball movie ever, an 8! But yeah, no, that movie was like...
There's other good Dragon Ball movies, Dan.
I refuse to believe that.
We've seen every one of them. They were all bad.
Have you seen Mystic Adventure?
Ignore Bob. We have not seen every one of them.
Dragon
Bob,
Ball original.
Just you
We've seen all the
saying that.
DBZ movies.
Just
We've
you
seen
saying
all
that
those.
sentence.
Can we
Makes
watch
them-
Lord Slug? That's a good one.
Oh,
No!
God, fuck you, Casey.
No, we can't!
Let's
God!
watch
You know.
World's Strongest.
Moving on.
World's Strongest is Kino.
Here's World's Strongest is Kino. Broly was better. But anyway,
I have zero doubt in my mind that Broly stomps the shit out of every single other Dragon Ball movie.
What about the return of Cooler?
The single worst one in the series.
I don't know. Janemba's pretty slow at parts. It's pretty miserable.
But the Janemba movie is beautiful, and the Metal Cooler movie was done in crayon.
Please do not be mean. The Janemba movie did have Hitler die in it.
If you guys don't stop, half of this comment section is just going to be comments from Xeon about Dragon Ball.
He can yell into the void all he wants.
Xeon's going to promote our video and tell his Dragon Ball legion of fans to descend upon this comment section. And we already have a cursed comment section and viewership thanks to Feel's gag on Gamer Premonitions. So if you don't mind me moving on.
I don't know what you're talking
Dan,
about. I don't get the gag.
Dan, if Xeon sent his followers at us, they'd just agree with us because none of his followers agree with him.
That's true. That's a very good point. Okay.
Isn't this the Dan dude from Hail Xeon?
Yes. No, you have that backwards. But anyway.
By the way, early Dragon Ball Z movies were great, especially the dub because they put bad licensed rock in it.
Oh man. Yeah, kind of like
Pantera in the Brawly movie. That was good.
And the Trunks special actually has
Disturbed was in 2 films.
Yeah, the Trunks special actually has Dream Theater in it, which is pretty dope. Dream Theaters makes some pretty awesome music. But we're moving on. No more Dragon Ball. We're going to talk about Dragon Ball Heroes.
So,
Dragon Ball
Field,
Heroes
do you have
is
any
happening.
Dragon Ball news off the top of your head?
Yeah, there's a couple things.
Go ahead.
The first is bad Dragon Ball card-based game Dragon Ball Heroes is coming to the Switch and PC.
I love their anime openings.
Yeah, the anime openings are great because they're complete, utter nonsense and stuff like
Cell X.
Cell X, which is actually from Dragon Ball Online.
What? Oh my god.
But it's stuff
That's
like
the one where they have the Satan Dragon Balls.
Yeah, they have the dark Dragon Balls with an evil dragon, and they have a whole cast of evil demon OCs for the cast to fight, and they travel through time. It's
Super Saiyan 3 Bardock.
Yeah, it's complete nonsense, but you know, it's like that's what I want out of like a Dragon Ball tie-in thing. It's like just be completely lunatic.
Right. Like the slider the toggle should be only in two modes. Dragon Ball Fighters, where it's insanely true to the spirit of the series with like really accurate art and amazing homages, or this. Just
yes, it needs to be either genuinely good like Dragon Ball Fighters Z or Unga Bunga fanfic good.
Yes, right, exactly.
which is what Heroes does, except it's like a weird gotcha card game, and I think you're going to have to pay money for packs.
Yeah.
Is what I read, so it's probably not going to be very good. But here's the thing, this coming to Switch and PC means Xenoverse 3 is just not happening anytime soon. Because what Xenoverse
they're still updating it.
Yeah, they're still updating Xenoverse 2, but Xenoverse 3 is just probably not going to happen for a couple of years at least. Because what they would do is they'd bring all the Dragon Ball Heroes plots to Xenoverse. But
I don't know.
Now they're just bringing Dragon Ball Heroes out.
This is Dragon Ball Heroes seems like it would be maybe a totally different developer. They could well be working on Xenoverse.
Here's the other thing.
In the
Here's the other thing, Bob. Jump Force is structured exactly like Xenoverse.
It is. It's a very similar setup.
Complete with make your own nightmare. I mean character.
And
we didn't put it on the list. They added like 4 more Naruto characters to that roster, and I saw.
And they're all hideous. But Toriyama designed like a unique villain, an original villain for Jump Force, which is like, okay, this is supposed to be Xenoverse 3. This like fills the role of Xenoverse 3.
Bob, I don't know what these people are talking about. That game looks incredible. I hope you both look forward to us streaming that game daily.
In other Dragon Ball news, this is something Bandai Namco Europe tweeted this and then deleted it, which is basically they tweeted, "Hey, get excited for Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 2 featuring the Warrior from Universe 11, which is of course going to be Jiren." So Jiren confirmed basically, and then they also said they are making a Dragon Ball Project Z, which is going to be a third-person open-world game.
Yeah, some sort
which is probably going to be like One Piece World Seeker, which is the open-world One Piece game that's coming out in a couple months. I imagine they will be very similar structurally.
Yeah,
I'm guessing it'll be a little bit different just because this has been in the works for a bit, and I imagine different teams.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine too.
I will get it and play it as long as the plot is really stupid.
And then it's just Dragon Ball Sagas only for current gen.
Okay, so that's all of the Dragon Ball. We can safely move on now, right?
Yes, that's all the Dragon Ball.
God.
I like how you don't really want to dig into this Dragon Ball news. It's like you're stepping on mines.
I'm okay with talking about fighters. It's just that I have no point of reference for Jiren because, as you know from the GT versus Super podcast, we only made it through one arc each. So
he is hilarious.
Jiren is. It's hard for me to dislike Jiren because he's so ridiculous.
I adore him. He's so bad.
That's what his character art makes me think.
Yeah, he does look like something out of Jump Force.
Toriyama decided he wanted a character that was nothing.
He's literally nothing.
But that's what makes him the best.
And there's like really unintentionally hilarious things where Goku and Jiren are fighting, and Goku's like, "Gee, Jiren, you're sure strong." And Jiren goes, "I seek that which is beyond strength." And then Goku says, "Haha, yeah, I like being strong too." And Jiren just looks at him like he's a fucking idiot.
That weirdly enough sounds like when your main character or one of the side friend characters in Pokemon runs up against the cult leader.
Yeah.
The cult leader's like, "Let me show you what the true essence of friendship is. Me and my Pokemon will conquer this world." And your friend's like, I really like Pikachu.
I'm very pumped to see whatever they show of Jiren at those finals. I guess that's next
I think
week?
it's like next weekend. Between
Resident Evil 2 and
the
Kingdom Hearts 3.
The short gap of window called Shotgun RE2 as hard as you can.
Ah, yes. That'll be good. We get to see Sonic Fox switch sides and win again, and then get to see a new trailer.
I honestly, me and Bob, we're gonna buy every character they release, so it being announced as Jiren basically didn't matter to me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
I can predict
for
what those
anything
characters will be if you want.
I mean, you can do that, but I once again don't care. Once it's available, I'm buying it, so it's a non-issue.
Will there be a Goku feel?
Does Gogeta count?
Gogeta counts.
Yes, half a Goku.
Movie Gogeta and movie Brawly will be in this season too.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. We'll
It'll
have
be
two
hilarious
Broly's.
to have two Brawlies. I should be more upset, but
No,
that's really cool.
You
I
know
don't know
why you shouldn't be more upset? Because you're not Xeon.
Right.
Xeon was really upset that Broly was being added to the game because Broly gets his own movie, and I was just happier and happier every time they announced a Broly thing. So us getting two Brolys, this is about as happy as I could get. Team Raw.
Only we get a third Brawly.
I bet he hated that Bardock goes Super Saiyan in his level 3.
I actually didn't know Bardock did that.
He does.
I'm not a Bardock player. Can you tell?
I think he was okay with that. Isn't that a reference to some random special?
Yeah, a terrible special, which is when Frieza kills Bardock, instead of him dying, he's sent back in time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Sounds right.
and he meets Frieza's ancestor called Chilled and goes Super Saiyan and defeats him and becomes the basis of the legend of the Super Saiyan.
That sounds good.
It's total nonsense and everybody hates it.
And as he defeats this Lord Chilled dude, before he dies, he's like, "Tell my family that those Saiyans must be defeated," which just causes the loop.
Here, real quick, I'm not going to spoil the Broly movie. But
Okay.
one thing that was delightfully bad about it, they try to do a nuanced opening. It cribs a lot from, what was it, Minus?
Yeah, Dragon Ball Minus.
It cribs a lot from Dragon Ball Minus. It goes into like, here's Bardock and his wife, and they're worried about Frieza and all that stuff. And
This is a bad Bardock, though, I've heard.
a lot of origin story stuff. You got your court of Saiyans. You know, you got King Vegeta ruling from his court and all that stuff. And it's very slow paced, right? Very nuanced.
Yeah.
They have a slow build up to the moment that they send Goku off in the capsule to go to Earth. And in the middle of this emotional moment, it jump cuts to Bardock lighting up in the atmosphere from Frieza's fucking ball. It hard cuts to that, and he's just like, ah! And it's not.
It's like almost an Almost Sunny title card pops up.
Yes.
Bardock dies.
It didn't seem intentionally funny. It seemed more like, well, okay, we told all the story we told. Show that fucker dying.
Did you laugh in the theater?
Yes.
Was it like in Big Hero 6 where the gap of time between Hero's brother going into the fire and the explosion is like half a second?
Yeah, it is that.
It is
that.
just, yeah, they give you just long enough to be like, oh, an emotional moment in the beginning of a Dragon Ball movie whose storytelling so far has been pretty competent, and then it hard cuts to that in a completely disconnected way. It's really funny. But yeah, no, that movie's good. I'm really excited for Jiren because Jiren's a character to add to that character select. That's about as much as I care. Let's see. We're gonna move on from that because we've beaten that horse to death.
So Dragon Ball.
Not Dragon Ball. real quick, I'll jump to talking about PC Master Race stuff and move on quickly from that, so somebody else can prepare the next story after that.
I'll take one after this.
Anyone who does PC gaming kind of knows that AMD has had suffering performance and not able to even have cards as good as NVIDIA's for a whole generation now, and price to performance wise, they've been suffering for a really long time. AMD at the Consumer Electronics Show apparently announced that their new GPU, the Radeon 7, Roman numeral, so I'm all cool with it, is going to have performance as good as NVIDIA's third best GPU, which is the only one, remotely sanely priced, because past their third best GPU, which is the RTX 2080, the RTX 2080 Ti is like over $1,000, and then the Titan from NVIDIA is almost $2,000, I think. Anyway, AMD goes, hey, we have a card as good as that one, which is really exciting. It's like, oh yeah, they're finally going to have performance as good as that. They then announce it for the exact same price as NVIDIA's card, which is really fucking unfortunate. It's like for the first time ever, AMD is caught up and they're now not going to do anything to put the competitive squeeze on them. And NVIDIA is, of course, trolling them because their GPU, unlike the Radeon 7, has ray tracing technology, so you can play Battlefield 5 with RTX.
Have you seen that PC gamer video, Dan? Where it's like these guys try to guess if Battlefield 5 has ray tracing on.
No! That sounds delightful! I would like to point out real quick, Digital Foundry did a video on one of the newest RTX cards that has a more reasonable price, and they show RTX on at one point, but it's at such a low quality setting because it has, like most PC games, graphics stuff, it has settings. You can have max RTX or low RTX. They set it to low or medium, and even I couldn't tell because there are some things that it just, in order to improve performance, it doesn't do right on purpose. It's like, having this reflection reflect the fact that you can see that window from this angle would actually be harder, so we're not going to do that. And I'm like, that's the whole point! The whole point is your ray tracing! What do you mean there's a setting where it's just wrong? So that kind of blew my mind. So I'm really interested in watching that video just to see people be like, no, I have no fucking idea. How could I?
I kind of know what ray tracing is, but I kind of chalk it up to this part of the generation's like buzzword.
Yeah, I just write it off in my brain as buzzword.
Like how a couple of years ago everyone was talking about checkerboard rendering.
Okay.
Checkerboard rendering is a good way to say not 4K.
Yeah, thank you, Phil.
That was the popular term when the Pro was coming out.
Well, I mean, it's just like, because what happens is they go to explain how they have a 4K image, which they don't.
Yeah.
And
they do.
No, they don't. And they need to explain the technology. Then they say, hey, everyone talk to Mark Cerny about how this is possible. And Mark Cerny's like, it's sort of possible via checkerboard rendering. But no, ray tracing is a cornerstone of graphics technology. It actually legitimately is the holy grail. Like, that's what Pixar movies have. That's why they're lit so beautifully. It's just an insanely difficult thing to do. And these cards do a very rough version of it, but even only doing as much as they do on the max setting, it really helps. Because the number one thing you get out of it is like reflections. Because, oh man, I could do a video that would ruin how you guys look at every video game ever, but that takes time.
I don't care. Even if I watched it, I wouldn't care.
You say that, but
I'm not a broken man like you.
Look, here's what I'm going to do, what I've done my entire life.
Yeah.
Which is I'm going to buy good hardware and just have it automatically detect settings.
Yeah, I mean, that's an easy way to do it. The sick thing is I actually have a 1080 Ti that I bought used right as the hype for the RTX cards was fever pitch. So I got it at an insanely good price even now for how much performance it has, but I don't fucking play video games. I bought it for color grading video. Anyway.
You're like, I can play Overwatch.
I can play Overwatch at 280 frames per second.
That lets me get mad 4 times faster.
Actually, you know what running Overwatch at 240 frames per second with a fast sync V sync does? Can anyone guess? Bob, I
I
bet
have
you.
no idea what that means.
It improves your input lag.
That's not real.
So KZ, you said you had some news to talk about?
All right, in KZ's incredibly tired news, EA cancels open world Star Wars game.
Local streamer turns into skeleton.
Here's
I when I saw this hit the timeline, I'm like, I'm so tired.
Time for another 15-hour nap.
the funniest part of this story.
Nap.
The funniest part of the story is them saying, we had to cancel it so we can rush out some bullshit by the end of next year because we need a Star Wars game now.
Yeah, because their contract's about to run the fuck up.
Yeah, there's no way they're re-signing that contract.
Not a chance.
Because they've screwed up so hard.
Disney
so
would have to be morons.
Like any other guys could have done something with
So
this.
the setup for this whole thing was that they signed that deal with Disney. EA did to get, what was it, like 10 years of
10 years, and
exclusivity
I
on
think
Star Wars
we're
games
on
for the
years.
Legends?
I think we're on like year 7 because
So
Battlefield
so
1
they-
took time, and then there was 4 years between Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 2. And Battlefield 2 was 2017, so we're 2 years past that.
Yeah, so we have this situation where they're gonna make a bunch of Star Wars games, presumably. They get Visceral on a big, super exciting story-based Star Wars game.
Directed
They
by
get
Amy Hennig.
from the Uncharted games to be like the creative lead on this. And then they start asking them questions like, what's your answer to FIFA Ultimate Team to make us money? And they're like, we're making a fucking linear single player game. They're like, okay, you're done. We're canceling this and pivoting all your work to Vancouver, that office, and now that's been canceled.
There's the timeline so far doesn't make a ton of sense. I'm pretty sure their deal was for shorter than 10 years, and
I think it was 10 years.
They made that deal this generation. Because think about when Disney bought Star Wars, it was like a couple of years after that, maybe like a year and a half at bare minimum. So timeline wise, they should have signed that deal sometime around 2013, maybe 2014.
Yeah, it was 2013 we found out about it.
So that thing has to have a shorter time on the contract than that.
I mean, they could have, out of the contract early just because not releasing games or.
Yeah, I'm sure Disney has a clause to get the fuck out.
Yeah,
I'm sure they have that.
I bet they're looking real closely at the Respawn game that's coming out this year.
I don't understand why Disney even signed this contract. I guess because EA gave them a bunch of money.
Because
they're like, this is like the big video game company.
It was the easiest way for them to make money with the newly acquired Star Wars license that involved the minimal amount of effort from them on a content creation end. But
this is right after they just destroyed LucasArts game studio.
Yeah,
because Disney is not interested in developing games, so they'll farm out all that. So they got LucasArts and they're like, we don't want to make games. Bye.
Yeah, which is really
just
fucked
like
up.
with Disney Infinity when they dropped that.
Real quick on the Amy Hennig thing, an interesting aspect of that whole story that I feel like gets undercovered a bit is that Hennig was not doing an especially great job by multiple accounts running that game development, because her primary focus is a lot on narrative stuff, and when the different leads from the different studios came to her for executive decisions, she more and more increasingly apparently shut herself off from them and stopped being helpful. So then people would go off, make a thing, and then when it was like weeks in development, maybe even months, she would then see it and be like, oh, that doesn't make sense within the scope of the game we're making. So it's like a perfect storm of EA knocking their heads, demanding that they figure out some way to make it grossly monetizable, Amy Hennig trying to helm a studio she didn't even work at before becoming the director there. And what was it?
That really sounds like EA just being like, put big name at top.
I mean, to be fair, she was looking for that too. She did an interview where somebody was like, "Wow, you're making your own Star Wars game." She's like, "Yeah, I couldn't say no because it was Star Wars, and I always wanted to do one."
Was
It's
wasn't
really
the other
pitiful.
wasn't the Vancouver studio being run by the person who like who was mainly behind Assassin's Creed 1, like Jade something?
Jade Raymond?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So
someone up there's doing that, but like they also the Vancouver studio was working on some aspect of it eventually because it became clear that Visceral's in a really expensive city in California, I believe. They're in a really high cost living area, so the amount of money you had to spend per employee to get that game running was fucking unreal. So they're like, "Hey, we'll have EA Vancouver help."
They're using Unreal?
Yeah, it was based on Unreal. They're like, "We'll have EA Vancouver help co-develop this," which made it another tier of nightmare. And it's just, this is one of the saddest stories this gen. Of like the person who created and or co-created, depending on how you look at it, Uncharted gets the Star Wars license, and then everything goes to shit like it's a GigaBoots stream.
It's like it's this podcast.
Where, you know, the fucking sound compressor breaks right beforehand.
I really can't get over how bad EA is like chomping at the bit. Like EA's executives can't understand that normal human beings are not the weird reptilians that are playing Madden and spending $20,000 on Ultimate Team buffs.
Yeah, whenever laws pass to stop that, they are kind of screwed.
Which is, I think, is going to happen in the next 5 years, and there's going to be a lot of wailing and teeth gnashing from the paid influencers in EA's pocket, and EA's stock will drop another billions of dollars.
So Bob,
What's that?
you got some news that's
Oh,
about
yeah,
a positive game. How about you talk about that news?
Sure.
You're one thing of news on this
like
list.
one thing of news. They just announced a Devil May Cry 5. I guess it's a prequel novel. It's called Before the Nightmare. It's described as a prequel to Devil May Cry 5. It's 260 pages long.
260 pages, gentlemen.
It's coming out in Japan a week before the game.
It only releases 1 week ahead of the game in Japan.
Right? We're probably never getting this.
God,
It's neat.
here with the Capcom Please Stop report.
Maybe it's just like an art book and a dev diary.
Yeah, maybe
An art book and a dev diary would not be describable as a prequel.
If it was Kingdom Hearts, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it is something more like that. That would, because right now this is breaking news. Like it was a listing on Amazon and then they confirmed it's a real thing. So we don't know much about it yet.
Okay.
That's very bizarre.
Right?
Yeah, that's all real weird.
It has illustrations from like some artist.
I'm going to cover some really basic news. People hacked the Switch, which is nothing new. But they were digging around in that one Nintendo Classics app where you can play the NES games if you have the Nintendo Online.
Yes.
And they actually did find the what?
The big perk of paying for the online.
You mean only?
It's got scan lines on it.
There are codes. There are strings of code in there referencing very specific Super Nintendo titles that are going to be available at some point, which makes sense. They did say that this would eventually grow out of NES and grow into Super NES. But the list of games is pretty good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's
long as they don't suddenly say, okay, for the Super Nintendo games, you need to be a super online member.
That would be fucking crazy.
And then eventually you need to be a cube.
They would be psychopaths to try and do that.
So I pulled up some of the titles that they apparently have in the code there.
Yeah.
Which includes stuff like Mario Kart, Super Soccer, Link to the Past, Demon's Crest, Yoshi's
Demon's
Island.
Crest is a damn good game.
Yeah, it is.
It is. I would love that. Super Mario All-Stars, which is kind of shocking, given that time on the Wii when they sold it for full price in a box.
Yep.
Yeah, back
great
when
deal.
Nintendo had a little bit of the Sony, we're the kings of the world, and we're going to do things
That was the
make no
maximum
sense.
insanity was that release.
You know, you say Sony, and I agree that Sony was egotistical as fuck going into the PS3, but this is so, like, that gen was so beyond that for Nintendo. I think they went full Apple. Like, that's what that comes off as to me.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah, that's Apple.
That's why people are saying Apple should buy Nintendo.
So that way, a bunch of people can cry because the new Nintendo console costs $800.
Oh man.
And then Apple can cry when they learn that the thing they bought lost all value the moment they owned it.
Right?
But this is exciting that they're possibly going to be adding additional platforms to
Yeah. I mean, the problem is this would be more exciting if they didn't literally say it in the first Nintendo press release about this service. Like, they said NES, Super NES, so I'm glad they confirmed it.
Also, if the release schedule for this content made anything resembling sense.
Yeah, that would be good.
Oh, yeah.
If there were just more of these added every week, that'd be great.
It's not every week, but there are things that were added. Did you know?
Right? I have no idea.
Exactly.
If we're on a weekly schedule, I'd know.
They're not even for sale anymore, so I don't understand why Nintendo isn't just like, here's 600 games.
Yeah.
Because signing the contracts for that and the devaluation that would come from it.
I would argue
not
that I bet the real reason is like, if we give them that many free games, they won't buy more Switch games.
Potentially.
I feel like, as someone who's bought a flash cart at some point, and I'm going to leave it at that, I don't think the amount of content there is enough to dissuade someone from playing newer things.
Yes, I agree, but I'm saying I think that's Nintendo's logic, because I maintain that the reason we have not gotten any form of 3D Mario remaster is because they're afraid it will compete with whatever Mario game is out at that moment.
Yeah, I think on that front, it's just harder to remaster than most games, and Grezzo, the people who did the Ocarina of Time remaster and the Majora's Mask remaster, didn't go to Nintendo and say, can we remake Mario 64? I think they very intentionally wanted to do the Zelda games.
Well, yeah, but there's also Sunshine and Galaxy 1 and 2 that seem like I'm stunned that there hasn't been a Galaxy 1 and 2 remaster.
Well, it's great that you mentioned that. That really segues into my next bit of news. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but NVIDIA made a console. It's called the Shield. How many people, like, being sincere right now, how many people even knew that?
I know about the Shield.
I knew that.
Okay.
I've seen them in a box.
I knew that because I know in, like, China they got Wii games on it.
Exactly. Bob, did you know NVIDIA Shield
Of
existed?
course. I knew that they were as a portable, and
Okay.
then
it was a console, and they kept using the same name. Anyway, NVIDIA's Shield, as KZ just said, in China, sells digital copies of Wii games. And the cool thing is that the emulation that runs it actually runs it at above 1080p resolution and downscales to 1080p to make it look really smooth. So that was a thing, and it's like, man, it would be really great if the Switch could do this, because the Switch is based on really similar hardware. It's also NVIDIA. It's also that same SoC, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the Tegra X1. Anyway.
Just as hackable.
True. But the weirdest fucking news just came out, and Chinese website Weibo wrote about it, and what was it? The Twitter user Chinese Nintendo posted pictures of this and talked about it. They added
insane
deep learning AI to remaster the textures in these Wii games, and it actually looks good. Is the terrifying part.
Yeah, they look really good. There was
like
a thing.
machine learning?
Yeah, it's using machine learning
to
to contextualize, and once it's contextualized, try to improve the textures. And they did it for Twilight Princess. And it's like things as blurry as tree trunks now have intricate, matching, proper looking, and very faithful to the original looking art. And that's crazy.
They used this exact thing, I think, on Doom, the original version of Doom, and it looks insane.
Wow, yeah, no, that must look insane. I haven't seen that, but there is a Reset Era thread about other initiatives about taking machine learning and improving the visuals in games. I
saw a video recently for Final Fantasy VII that uses that machine learning to make the pre-rendered
pre-rendered backgrounds better. Yeah.
and like makes them look really, really good.
Yeah, it does.
That's kind of crazy.
It is really crazy.
It's like that cloud dream that PS3 gave us of, oh yeah, put your movies in the digital locker.
Okay, yeah, we're 86 episodes into the series. It's time we bring up the lies of the PS3.
Cut that bit.
It's time to bring up the lies of the PS3. Who here remembers Sony saying during the 2005 E3 conference that you will be able to upload your videos into the digital cyberspace locker, and then they will digitally improve your video quality using the power of the cell processor? E3 2005 is such an insane tapestry of lies.
It's
The
so
Spider-Man
weird.
font is cool.
It is cool.
It's so
And you know what's
weird
even
how,
cooler?
like-
Inserting Gran Turismo into the movie Spider-Man 2 for no reason.
Oh, that.
And this is when I point out I've watched that E3 conference 10 times because it is so full of shit. It is amazing.
How's it going, Feel?
Okay, I'll go. I got plenty of stories.
Let's not talk about this.
So this leaked yesterday. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid for everything.
Power Rangers?
Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, the morphing grid.
Oh,
But there's only a little teaser trailer video. It appears to be a tag-based fighter. Justin Wong is working on it. He said on Twitter, "I'm helping balance this thing, so it's going to be a real-ass fighting game."
Mm-hmm.
That's
There's not really much to go on. It has the Green Ranger, the Red Ranger, and the yellow Gokaiger / Megaforce Ranger. And there's the commercial features Jason David Frank, because he's the only part of Power Rangers any American remembers.
wait. Who is he? The
all-
Red Ranger? Or?
No, he's Green Ranger / White Ranger.
Of course.
/ Black Ranger / Red Ranger.
Here, all I'm gonna say is that Lord Draken better be in this game. So I'm sure Dan and Bob are staring at each other in bafflement at who the hell that is.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen any Power Rangers since the original series.
Lord Draken is a character from the original Power Rangers comic that Boom has been doing for a little while. And he is a Green Ranger from an alternate timeline where he did not become good, and he steals the White Ranger powers and becomes a White Green Ranger fusion and looks really cool.
I was seeing some like promotional stuff for that, and it looked interesting.
They did like a live action commercial for the comics.
Didn't they say that the developer is like the guys who did the mobile? Power
The
Rangers
developer
game?
is the same developer as the Power Rangers mobile games. I don't know if they've hired like people who worked on other things.
It looks like they're repurposing some stuff, because I was going to mention Power Rangers Legacy Wars, which is a mobile fighting game.
Yeah, it was the one that Ryu was in.
Yeah, it's the one that also ties in with the movie, so Krispy Kreme donuts is everywhere.
And boy, oh boy, does the graphics look mobile? But I'm sure that
Mm-hmm.
isn't this supposed to be out in April? Did I dream that? Did it not have a release date?
It's coming out this year at least on like every machine.
Yeah, it's on everything. But I'm trying to remember if that. Let me look.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's at April 2019.
Wow, that's pretty close for something that was just announced.
And at first I thought it would be a free-to-play game, but they mentioned pre-order bonuses, so I don't know if there'll be like a pack or if there
This has
will
to be like a $30 game. It has to be.
Yeah, it has to be. There's no way this is $60. It might even be $20.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But looking at it, and I actually looked at a little bit of the mobile games footage, it looks like they just used the higher quality versions of those models.
It's going to be really funny if it is really funny that like I'm looking at like people are retweeting Japanese accounts that are basically cursing the name of Zyu Ranger, which is which is the season that became Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because that show sucks. And the Japanese fans are always like, God damn it, we get all this fucking Zyu Ranger shit because the Americans liking the fucking shitty one.
Is that like the people that got mad that that Ridley got into Smash saying, "Oh, look at Captain America over here"?
No, I'm trying to think of like an example, and I can't think of one because I'm Okay, imagine if Final Fantasy Mystic Quest became super popular and Square kept doing that. And the Japanese were just like, those fucking Americans bought that fucking stupid Mystic Quest shit. And now we're stuck with it.
Well, Bob, you know what you're gonna have to get used to games coming out shortly after they're announced, because that's exactly what's gonna happen at Microsoft's E3 this year. They're gonna announce all these games. It's gonna happen by the end of this year, totally.
No,
because
because they have literally nothing to release.
Unless they got
Crackdown coming.
Unless they just give up and are like, here's our new console. Here's some stuff about our new console.
Are you guys excited for our episode of Gamer Premonitions about this year's E3?
Yes.
So, Mr. Field, give us your summary of Xbox this gen.
What is E3? Can you tell the audience?
Oh, God.
You have to do a summary of E3, then a summary of that company for this gen.
Yeah, exactly.
You give us a summary of the last gaming gen.
So basically, we do one episode per conference, like Sony, Nintendo, Xbox, and
EA is a company by EA.
Okay, I have a bit.
Oh no, it's the bit.
Bob.
What's up?
Zavok has been added to Team Sonic Racing. Who is Zavok? Go. You have 10 seconds, Bob. 10. 9.
He's not the Gator.
8.
He's not the bee.
7.
Yeah, I don't know,
6.
guys.
Okay, he gave
5.
up. That's fine.
Okay. Zavok is the leader of the Deadly Six, the bad nothing
God.
characters from Lost World, who I did not even know had names until
They don't
this
give me
announcement.
Blaze and they put in Zavok.
He's the big red guy.
The sad thing is,
Sega wants to push Zavok hard. He was also in Sonic Forces inexplicably.
He sure was.
He's like your first boss in that.
so the sad thing is, we've been through Sonic Month. I'm a fan of really old Sonic games. I couldn't figure out who Zavok was, and so my first thought was, that fucker's in Lost World, isn't he?
You should have said Deadly Six and then made Bob guess what that was.
I think he would have gotten that.
The sad thing is I would have gotten that. I played that game.
We both own the game on Steam, don't we?
Yes.
Because we gave out both of our Steam IDs.
I forgot that came out on Steam.
I should maybe try it, because all I remember is the boss fight in the Wii U version where you have to use rocket to shoot from planet to planet to continue the boss fight.
Yeah.
But there's no way to cancel the rocket transformation. So if you aren't sure where the planet is and turn into the rocket and the planet isn't in your view, you have to just shoot into space and die and start the boss fight over.
Yep.
Oh, that game is amazing.
Truly, truly despicable.
I actually thought the game was okay, but I have not played a comprehensive amount of it. It's okay. I'll get around to it next Sonic Month. Hey, Bob, you excited for our next Sonic Month?
God, no.
It's funny. Every time I brought up doing another Sonic Month with Bob, he's like, we did it once. It's over.
Doing Sonic content sounds like a mistake. No one should do that.
You say that because you said you would do a Sonic Month, and you're doing your best
job. I don't
job.
even remember me saying I
Here's
would
what's
do that.
I'm just waiting for
apparently I did.
Eventually Dan is going to get KZ on one of these episodes and bait KZ into talking about how horrible Sonic is and how shitty the whole series is. And then Dan will just cackle maniacally and hit a button and the Mighty Number 9 review will appear. He'll unprivate that video and howl.
The sad thing is, you'll see that video coming.
Because we will all die months ahead of time.
1, that. 2, there's a trailer.
Dan.
Why is there a trailer, Dan?
Let's move on to the next news.
Tell me about game streaming, Dan.
Okay. So I don't know why this keeps happening, but all these tech companies,
Why
all these
are
tech
all of your
journalism,
stories so boring?
all these tech companies and tech journalists and gaming journalists act like now that Google, Microsoft, and Amazon are getting into game streaming, that it's like a really novel thing and it's the future. But Amazon's joining. The idea is that your game runs in the cloud and then the video is streamed to your screen, which
I've never heard of this before.
Or
I've
a
never
portable.
heard of anything like this before.
A TV or a portable. You've never heard of this?
I've never heard of this. No one's ever done anything like
Have
this.
you heard of something called Gaikai? I heard you could play Mass Effect 3 on Gaikai on screwattack.com.
Game streaming is the future because it will make certain companies a lot of money and give them all control, and they think about that, and then all their thralls who work for websites get like this signal in their brain that make them decide that it's the future, and they have to write a bunch of articles about this shit that's never going to work.
I mean, OnLive is the biggest company in the world now, right, guys?
Yeah, and Sony's acquisition of them was really pivotal in Sony winning this generation. A lot of people use PlayStation Now, right, Bob?
Yes.
Do you have a gun to Bob's head?
How did he know?
I really can't wait until some company tries to launch some big game exclusively on streaming and none of the fucking servers work day one and they have to give everybody their money back, and suddenly this shit won't be the future anymore when somebody loses their ass.
I bet they're playing a game of chicken with that.
Yeah, nobody's brave enough to do that.
No one is brave enough to do it first, and they're just watching everyone else.
But hey, there are plenty of people desperate enough to do that. It doesn't take bravery, you guys. It takes desperation. Let me tell you what the developers behind Hellblade, Senua's Whatever, would do. They would absolutely do that.
They're owned by Microsoft now. They're safe.
There's always a new stooge
For
out
now.
there. There is someone out there where if Amazon came up to them and was like, hey, you're going to be our streaming exclusive game, they would shit their pants and then immediately say, yes, sir.
If Spider-Man didn't do so well, if it didn't come out last year,
Remember Double Helix?
I believe Insomniac Games would be that company.
I mean, true, they've done VR games, and VR games are existing in the same sort of space as this, where it's like, your game only exists because Oculus is just funding it. Regardless of its prospects, they're just paying hand over fist to get these games made.
Right.
Speaking of which, when Facebook completely pulls out of that, it's going to be so fucking sad because Carmack's there.
It's so pathetic to me that all these companies are like, we have to get game streaming so people who don't want to buy gaming hardware can play games, instead of just making games that can run on any PC or laptop.
Well, here's why.
There's like this little game called Undertale that sold like 5 million copies because it can run on anything.
But as a business venture, you can't trust auteurs. You can't do that. That doesn't work. That's not feasible as a business practice. But you know what is? Really good graphics. And if you stick that shit in the cloud, you can do really good graphics.
Ray tracing.
Yes, ray tracing is the future.
I'm just wondering how many like games have to do unbelievably well with really simplistic, easy to run graphics before they learn.
Well, that's the thing. We're kind of experiencing an indie apocalypse to some extent, as tons of indie studios that were doing fine even 5 years ago or going under or getting really desperate. So I don't see large companies really getting into that space too much. I mean, look at Sony's thing. It's so weird. Last gen they had so many small scale games, and now they have none. Like they
That's because Sony has become arrogant Sony again.
Possibly, but if it made money, they would do it.
They also had like a weird phase where they were just bringing out a shit ton of games on PS3, and none of them really moved much.
And at the tail end of the PS3 and the start of the PS4 gen, what the hell was his name? Gio Corsi.
Yeah.
He had that bring everything to this PlayStation and Vita initiative, and then that eventually went away because Sony started to win and they stopped giving a shit.
Yeah, I get that, but at some level, if them developing small games made sense or was sustainable, they would keep doing it. I mean, they even did it at the beginning of this gen.
Yeah, Gravity Rush 2 happened.
Well, I mean, yes, but that's a $60 game.
It's true.
What's Let's All Go to the Rapture? Is that the name of it? It's that game.
That's a game, yeah.
Yeah, so they co-funded that. They developed that. There are at least 3 or 4 examples of that where Sony Santa Monica, in the first 2 to 3 years of this generation, helped co-develop and fund a small-scale indie game. None of those did well.
All those small-scale stuff has moved to them making VR games. Like, Astrobot's that.
That's true. Astrobot is that.
There's 3 others that they've done that are, like...
That's very true, but it's such a niche platform that it feels like largely the platform itself isn't really enjoying that. Keep in mind, PlayStation VR has more of a captive audience than the Vita, but Did that hurt?
That's rough.
It's
totally true.
raw.
It is raw.
The Vita sucks so bad. Even it has stuff I want to play on it, and I don't want to fucking
Don't be
play it because
mean.
it's the Vita.
Means life.
I'm glad all the games are escaping the Vita's horrific clutches.
Me too, but at the same time, the Vita itself was really great in so many ways that Sony will never do again.
OLED.
See, I have this insane theory that
Oh no.
that like there's like a small chance, not a big chance, but a small chance that when Sony announces the PS5, they're just like, here's a portable version of the PS4.
I actually did do. Oh God, you people are gonna just run me into the ground for saying this. I did a lot of research on how hard it is to take a chip like the PS4's and make it portable, and it is by no means remotely easy. Just the way that thing is designed, it is no Switch. You know.
This is why you never sleep.
Shut up. But yeah, I don't think they're capable of doing that, and I think to some extent, I don't think they're capable of doing that, at least for the first 2 years the PS5's out. Let me put it that way. Because there are certain technologies in the PS4 where if you want to make a portable one of those, you have to use all the same technologies, like the type of RAM and stuff like that, in order to make sure it operates the games basically identically. The reason Microsoft doesn't have to do this for a lot of their stuff is they virtualize the hardware. So that's why you can stick an Xbox original game in your Xbox One X if they do the update, and the virtual machines sit there and make it so that way it can run on a completely different architecture. You know, that's the way that early Xbox One games just literally run. They look identical, but they run better on newer hardware because it's virtualized at any level. Sony's never fucking done that, and that's why I'm sitting here shitting my pants thinking they're going to be stupid enough to start the next gen and not be able to play PS4 games, because they could technically fuck up that bad. It is possible.
I feel like there's no way that you won't be able to play PS4 games.
I think it's in their best business interest, and thus they'll do it. But I still think they are absolutely the company that's stupid enough to fucking do that.
Like, if they don't do that, you gotta bridge the old generation with the new one, or else Microsoft's just gonna eat their fucking lunch.
Guess what I think's gonna happen?
No, I believe in them.
I don't. I think they're gonna fuck up and get eaten from both ends by Nintendo and Microsoft.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that too, which is really sad because I feel like Sony has always done a really good job since PS3 anyway of pushing the envelope, at least in technological prowess with their games. Like Spider-Man isn't a fucking game that's on the Xbox. Their equivalent is Sunset Overdrive or whatever. Like,
I think it'll be something in the middle where I don't think it's going to be one. Oh man, they fell so badly that it's just completely one-sided.
I think if Microsoft slides in priced less than them with an equivalent or better machine, it's just over.
I think we'll see what we did this gen of like just Microsoft and Sony changing places. And I do think Microsoft's machine is going to come out at the same price as Sony's and just be better. I think that is what's going to happen. But let's go ahead and move on.
Let's talk about Mortal Kombat.
Sure. I didn't watch that trailer.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of the reveal event.
So there's a big event today for the big video game, Power Rangers.
We already did that one, KZ.
Or Mortal Kombat. Oh yeah, you're right. So this is coming out within a month of that other one. So
yeah, it's coming out the same month as Power Rangers. So Power Rangers is just going to shrivel up and die.
I mean, Jump Force is already going to be out, guys. What the other fighting games even matter?
Okay, so for those who don't know, who are new to the channel, Bob does work at a game store, so he sees people every day who are excited for Jump Force.
You know what else is coming out? Dead or Alive 6. It's going to kick the shit out of Mortal Kombat 11. It's not even going to be a contest.
Yeah, I played that beta. The beta was amazing. It was amazing.
yeah, we were talking about how great and iconic the characters that are in the last episode.
It's true.
But you know what's weird about Mortal Kombat 11?
What?
How if Sonya Blade loses, she's just deleted from the roster.
Wait, what?
Or how if she gets kicked in the head, all her life goes down instantly.
Very weird. Out of all the jokes you could have gone with there, you went with the safe one.
Oh, I could go with an unsafe one. It was really fucked up, the part of the trailer where Raiden comes up and tells Sonya Blade to get out of her way. his way, and then Sonya Blade tries to talk to him about how the Sandy Hook shooting wasn't real.
Oh my god.
What?
Wait, who did they...
Ronda Rousey is playing Sonya Blade in
God.
Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh my god.
Why?
So I
What?
saw someone steal
Why?
that tweet as well, and the response I saw was her going, "No, Raiden, they were crisis actors with a K."
But yeah, no, Ronda Rousey playing Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat makes perfect fucking sense. She's Ronda Rousey.
I had no idea she had such hot takes.
Yeah, she has nuclear takes, evidently.
I think NetherRealm's PR is not going to be having a very good time for the next week or two. I think there's going to be a lot of discussions about thoroughly Googling people they want to put in their games.
I think what's happening is they're going, WB, why'd you do this to us?
And here's the shitty thing. There was like 100 times better a WWE tie-in they could have done right there. They could have made The Miz Johnny Cage.
They really could. They're the same person.
They're the same person.
Hey, Bob.
Hey,
So
This
Mortal Kombat
podcast has
11
been
got a
another
big
example
reveal
of how we're the only two gamers who aren't into wrestling.
right? It's like, oh no.
I'm not into wrestling. I just absorb information through osmosis. I watched the Scooby-Doo WWE movies, though. Those are sick.
Yeah, I hear those are sick. I've seen scenes from those that are pretty raw. I do want to watch those.
The John Cena Boulder scene, I believe. Is
There's a part in
Comes to
the
mind.
there's a better part in the second one, which is a Wacky Racers ripoff.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Where Triple H climbs out of his hover car limousine and then flexes, and his tuxedo explodes like he's Urian from Third Strike.
Oh my god.
That's really good.
What about the Flintstones movie they did?
I don't know about that, Chief.
The Flintstones and WWE Stone Age SmackDown.
Yep. It's a movie. I know nothing about it.
Was there anything else exciting at that Mortal Kombat event?
All right, so there was a Mortal Kombat event. This was where they were going to show off all the gameplay, show off some of the new characters, and I have a roundup for it. It looks really nice.
Yeah, it looks nice. The plot looks like it's going to be stupid because there's original timeline Kung Lao and Liu Kang running around.
Yeah.
That sounds
So
good.
having-
I like those guys.
Having watched it, it picks up from 10, and a random time-related character appears and goes, Raiden just did things he shouldn't do, so I'm just gonna use time magic, and the story's gonna involve Scorpion meeting a younger Scorpion, and that's gonna be a bunch of different characters seeing their younger selves, which explains why they're in the
they're
game.
different. They're different Scorpions, I think.
Ah, okay.
Because I think there's two Sub-Zeros.
Yes, there is, because there's the one in 9 that becomes Cyber Sub-Zero.
No, that was the one in 11. There was one before that died, and then his brother shows up, and that one becomes Cyber Sub-Zero.
I love Mortal Kombat so much. Really good.
Yeah, this sounds like my prediction that, based on the Game Awards trailer, that this is totally Mortal Kombat Ultimate-ing was correct.
That's great. Hopefully we just get rid of all the combat kids.
Yeah, they have a new character as well, Gris, which is it looks like the black dude from Detroit, only he's like a rock sand guy.
Which I like. I thought they had Trimmer for that, but I guess he was only
like-
in the Vita version, so he's not real.
Mm-hmm. They've changed some stuff with the game. There are 2 meters now for your weapon and a breaker meter. They have some sort of comeback mechanic called Fatal Blow, where if your health gets low, you can push in the triggers to do a move that does a pretty sizable amount of damage.
That's the one where Baraka bites into the arm and rips a big hunk off, right?
Yeah, it's
Jesus
like
Christ.
super X-ray moves almost.
Huh.
And so far the roster is Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Baraka, Sonya, Scarlet from MK9,
Oh, that's
Raiden,
cool.
and the new character Gris. And they teased Cabal, and that's going to be shown at one of their streams on the 30th.
And we saw evil current timeline Liu Kang and old timeline Liu Kang and Kung Lao, and I'm sure they'll all be playable. I imagine it'll be like MKX, where you have styles, but it'll be like this timeline or this timeline.
I forgot that Liu Kang went evil.
Yeah, it's back where you have 3 different classes, and you can customize them with gear, merging the stuff from Injustice, and you can name your own custom classes.
The gear system is something I wish that would stop, but Okay.
That's going to be in because WB wants money, but
Right.
hopefully stats won't be involved with the gear, and that's just cosmetic loadout stuff.
Hopefully.
I really hope Kotal Khan is back because he's cool.
Yeah, the roster is going to be 26 characters if you count Shao Kahn as that pre-order bonus.
There will never be there's no way anything in this game will be as funny as the scene in MK9 where Shao Kahn just breaks Kung Lao's neck and Raiden screams in horror and Shao Kahn is like flexing at him.
Yeah.
God.
What are you gonna do, Raiden? What are you gonna do?
I was very impressed with how good this game looks and how polished it looks, because they're on like that 2-year schedule, and they moved engines for this, and they will have 26 characters. And I just thought about Street Fighter V with its, I think it was 16 characters at launch.
They moved from Unreal Engine 3 to 4. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I mean, this will be 4. I'm sure there's different teams, at least partially, between MK, and it's been 4 years.
It's just impressive the bar they set and how quickly they turn out these games with their production value.
Everything about NetherRealm fighting games are good except playing them.
What are you talking about? Their animations look amazing.
I mean, I'd rather play Mortal Kombat 10 than a lot of games, but I mean, I'm not gonna pick it over.
I mean, here's what's gonna make or break Mortal Kombat 11. Are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in it?
Spawn might be in it.
I will say that I think NetherRealm is the only company that understands how to sell a fighting game to the average person.
Yes.
Which is here's my theory on what the average person wants: have a big story mode.
Yeah.
And make supers a button.
Yep.
I mean, you're not wrong,
right? It's pretty concise things.
Ed Boon gets it. He understands.
He does. His big eyebrows get it.
Yeah. There's a lot of knowledge in there.
Yep. The collector's edition comes with a scorpion like hood and mask, which look cool, and like a coin.
Are you getting it, KZ? You gonna get that edition?
Fucking no. Is it Kingdom Hearts? Then no.
Is it $200? Is that, or do you have the price?
I'm gonna try and find it.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah, it is gonna be $200, Bob. But unfortunately, the formerly nylon scorpion mask is gonna be burlap instead on accident.
Well, I guess that's good.
They couldn't afford the high quality scorpion mask they just showed today.
It'll be $150.
Okay, that's more reasonable for a fucking Halloween
comes
mask.
with the season pass, or the combat pass as it's called.
Thank you. I was a little disappointed.
Did they somehow fit a K into pass?
Yeah, the K is silent.
Okay, good.
Now you mentioned that the like burlap sacks are being messed up. What is that even from?
What happened with what was it, Fallout 76? Is that they promised a really high quality bag with it, and then they sent out nylon garbage. So
the hits never stop with Fallout 76 because we have This Week in Todd, a brand new news story involving Fallout 76.
Brand new cornerstone segment here on this podcast, This Week in Todd.
This one is cartoonish.
Bethesda bans players from Fallout 76 for reaching developer room, does not know how players reach developer room, wants them to confess as to how.
That is the saddest fucking thing I've ever heard a developer do.
The secret developer room of Fallout 76 contains plans for everything in the game, including top-tier weapons, unreleased items that are supposed to arrive in future updates. There's also a human NPC named Whoopi, and gamers did the logical thing. Upon meeting him, they killed him and took his stuff.
I'm dead.
Oh, man.
So not only did they find the dev room, they found the future DLC.
How is this game such a mess?
Just in the room.
But Bethesda banned them and then said, write us an essay on how you got there and maybe we'll unban you because we don't know. How did you get there?
How is it this bad?
I don't know.
Is it this bad?
It's like a parody of itself. That's all this game is at this point.
I mean, they did
secret hideout for what they're gonna charge you.
They did this before when with mods, and they like write an essay on why mods are bad and we'll unban you. It's like, Jesus
insane.
Christ.
I don't understand how they keep fucking up like this.
Why don't you just ban your whole player base? Just get it out of the way.
Bob,
Get them all
I think
banned.
the reviews banned them enough
Like, this story could be fake, but I believe it because it's Fallout 76 and it's Bethesda.
Right.
I really like the fact the game is in this state baffles me. Like, I'm surprised it passed compliance.
Right. Same. TRC is just a punchline nowadays.
I can't fathom how this happened. Just don't make the game.
Well,
you clearly don't want to make it.
That's going to do it for news. Let's go ahead and move on.
No, there's one more.
Oh,
there's actually one more news story. We got to talk
the
about
big one.
What is it?
The one that happened the day after the last episode.
Oh no.
What's on your USB stick, Bob? What's in there?
He can't show you, KZ. He lost it at a medieval times.
Why am I Randy Pitchford in this situation? I don't want to be that guy.
Because you really like magic.
I
Okay,
don't.
you can be Anthony Birch.
Please don't be
Don't
either,
put this
Bob.
curse on me.
Okay, so Randy Pitchford is being sued by his own lawyer. His lawyer is basically accusing Randy Pitchford of embezzlement and also being a pedophile with a USB drive full of child porn.
Yeah.
Now, that alone would not be that big a news story because, you're suing... Well, because when you're suing somebody, you make up all kinds of horrible shit about them. That's...
Okay.
Generally, you don't sling pedophile. You sling something a little bit more grounded.
Right. Like that's pretty extreme.
What's insane is Randy Pitchford's defense, which is, yes, there was porn on that USB drive. No, I can't show you the porn because I lost that USB drive at a medieval times gimmick restaurant.
I love medieval times.
It was legal porn. The woman...
I shit my pants at one of those.
The actress just looked very young, and it was a squirting video that I had so I could inspect it closely to figure out a magic trick.
At one point, he even says, I can't believe none of them put it together that since that was the only pornographic material on that thumb drive, that it was because of the magic trick.
Now, I'm not going to say that Randy Pitchford is a pedophile.
Because
all I'm going to say is that
that'd be dangerous.
It is very bad news for someone who is known to be a pathological liar, known to be extremely shady with money, who has a theater in his house he regularly invites children to.
Yeah, there's a whole part of this that was kind of not talked about, where one of the allegations is that in his private theater, there was a show involving male strippers who exposed their genitals to underage people. What? That is a part of...
the theater that's in his house. Which
the
keeps
Peacock
leaving out
Theater.
when he brings up the theater.
What? This guy is insane.
Also, the embezzlement's in the order of $12 million.
There was that one tweet he put up that got deleted too.
Oh yeah, where he talks to a woman about the beauty of female ejaculation.
Because the woman says, regarding the news and gaming today, all I'll say is this: women squirting is not actually a magic trick. To which he responds
with an essay.
Thanks for the clarification. I would hate for anyone to think I cannot tell the difference between legal, natural female ejaculation and legal simulated female ejaculation. Both are beautiful, but only one is natural. I talk about the difference on this podcast.
And then his lawyer made him delete that because his lawyer called him like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Please shut up.
What is wrong with the brain?
I'd be shitting my fucking pants if I had a client that's just like, I'm talking about this ejaculation.
So my point is, it's a good thing for Randy Pitchford. He's a thoroughly honest individual known for his honesty all across the land, and is not a fucking bizarre lunatic who does things like wander around a mall and try to rat out merch booth owners on Twitter.
Yeah, it's a good thing he's not that.
It's a good thing he didn't make up a bizarre story about winning the name Gearbox from Gabe Newell in a poker game, and then Gabe Newell says, I never met him until after he started that company.
Yeah, it's a good thing he doesn't do things like that.
I don't think he brags about that anymore, because that was
because it was multiple news stories talking about how he's a lunatic.
Yeah, because the NoClip put out a documentary on Half-Life, and it had Randy in there for the stuff they did for like the expansions and spin-off games.
Yeah,
and then he talked about my exposure to Gabe was after emails and stuff when they were trying to get get a game going.
Yeah. For
Definitely nothing about fake poker games.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, apparently Gearbox handled a bunch of the weird spin-off content off of the original Half-Life. And
yeah, like
there
I forget
became
what those
Blue
games are
Shift.
called.
There became some, Blue Shift
Opposing
is
Force,
one
I
of them.
believe.
But he did 3. I think their company did 3 of them.
Yeah, and I think there was like a Counter-Strike or some other game they got screwed on.
Yeah, and Valve.
I can tell he was incredibly mad in that documentary saying he
yeah.
got screwed or something.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I could see why they did it now, because, I run a business too, but it was just really fucked up. If they had told us what was going on, we could have worked with them.
Oh, good. Yeah, he got that basically word for word.
Yeah, no, it's kind of burned into my fucking brain. It was one of those classic Dan days where I'm up for 27 hours straight, and I'm watching
watch this.
I'm watching this documentary as I'm killing time waiting to get a haircut, and I'm like, holy shit, this man's crazy.
It's the one part where I'm like, you gotta cut this. Why would you include this?
Because he did an interview with Randy Pitchford, and if he cut things like that, what's left?
Like,
oh God.
Oh man.
So that's it for the news. It's time for our viewer questions.
We got
Dan,
viewer emails.
Where can they send questions to?
You can send your emails to btd@gigaboots.com. That's Big Think Dimension, btd@gigaboots.com. Send them in.
And please
BTD.
sign what you want to be called. In your
Sign
name.
what you want to be called, or we'll either call you anonymous or make up a name.
Okay, so we got a good amount of questions. Let's get to them. This one is from Tectonic Improv, and it is, how did Mr. Feel and KZ meet the Gigaboys? Mr. Feel in particular. I thought it was pretty surprising that the Arino guy, who I see on Twitter all the time, is well acquainted with you two. Well, here's how I met Dan. I used to have a Tumblr blog, which was just my Twitter in Tumblr form. And somebody said, hey, you think Mighty Number 9 looks like rancid dog shit? Here's a video of somebody ranting about it. And it was Dan's The Rant Is Go video about Mighty Number 9. And I watched, I said, that's good. And I watched a bunch of other GigaBoots videos. And then I said, I should follow this person on Twitter if they have a Twitter. And they did. And then I started to talk to them. And that's how that happened.
Yep.
And I actually remember how I met KZ also. Which is, I said, I have a Discord. If we're mutuals, message me and I'll give you my Discord. And then KZ messaged me, who we were not mutuals, and he said, can we be mutuals? And I said, okay.
Yes, that is 100% how that happened.
Good job, Casey.
So how I met the gig was that Mr. Feel would occasionally retweet some of your content and go back and forth, and I think I started watching you like a week before Mega Maker came out.
You're like, oh cool, a variety channel. Then Mega Maker came out.
I'm like, you know what? I like this idea of people killing themselves playing Mega Man levels.
So
We can see how this goes.
to flip it around, I met Mr. Feel when my notifications were filled with funny tweets. I was like, wait a second, this guy's replying with something really intelligent and also funny. That's kind of weird. So eventually I clicked through to his profile, just like I did all of KZ's friends that, at me and stuff, where I click through to the profile and I read their tweets, but I don't follow. And then I do that enough times where I'm like, okay, this is consistent quality. I'm going to follow. So that's how that happened.
Yeah.
I met KZ when he left. He shows up in the chat, every now and again for a stream.
Yep.
But eventually on Mega May, at the end of it, when I was a husk of a human, KZ left on our Patreon because he was a patron of us. He left a really nice comment where he's like, you worked really hard this month. Go take a break, relax, live.
And yeah, because I was like, because I didn't really understand the insanity yet. Where making that comment is going to fall on deaf ears.
I have a goal and it's not done, and once it's done, my body will turn to dust.
I say that because it's 2 a.m. right now. The podcast comes out today.
And I work in 9 hours. What's your point? Anyway.
But
I thought for sure KZ was going to say that he left the comment of the end of NES Ghostbusters.
Congratulations.
Okay, my favorite thing is at one point during the sequence of events, I ended up having to drop my pledge for a bit, and you highlighted it in a tweet saying, "I guess they think I'm bad at Mega Man."
It's true.
But
It's true.
The
I
twist
did that.
was I had no money.
Yeah, I know, because that's what he was. He was like, no. That's not what it's about at all. No, that followed up a very specific video, and I can't remember which, where people were giving us shit, and it made me laugh so hard. So when within 3 days or something, or 2, somebody stopped being a patron, I made a gag about it.
I'm sorry, $5 is a lot of money, Dan.
I mean, fair. You know what you could get at Arby's for $5?
I'm gonna
Food
find
poisoning.
out.
Food poisoning. Exactly. But no.
I'm gonna get Arby's tomorrow to own Feel.
So the part of this where I think it's the really interesting chain of events that eventually led to this podcast somewhat is when I go on Mega Maker Live and I'm like, hey, Feel, I had this idea for a Kingdom Hearts podcast where it's a bunch of people sitting around trying to predict what's in the game. And he's like, oh, you know who'd be real good for that? This KZ Excellent guy. He watches your channel. And I'm like, oh, yeah, KZ. And he's like, yeah, he would be really good for it. Also, he has a really nice voice. And I'm like, oh, he has a really nice voice. I guess I need to go check that out.
I try.
So then I watch his channel. I'm like, no, he fucking doesn't.
Oh, fuck you too, Dan.
But no, for the longest time, I didn't know he had a YouTube channel because his Twitter account just links to his Twitch.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't know he even did content
I had the
until
YouTube in there.
That's true. He had it in there as a website, kzexcellent.com.
Yeah.
So I did not
My
click.
favorite thing is that you found out I had a YouTube channel after we solidified the podcast date plans. Right?
Uh-huh. We fully made those plans, and then I'm like, I guess I should find out what this guy sounds like ahead of time.
Yeah, we had to figure out what's going on with that.
And thank God we recorded 2 buffer episodes for that, because both KZ and I got sick.
You put a juju curse on me.
Yeah,
it
you
was
both
terrible.
got the Black Death.
I wonder if the 18-hour streams and 21.5-hour streams had anything to do with that. Whatever.
I thought I was going to die.
Meanwhile, I grind some vitamins up in my charcoal and chug it, and then I walk through a swamp.
I mean, that granola bar every morning.
And then you smoke some weed sometimes.
No, he just eats granola. That's all he does. That's where his strength comes from.
So my favorite part of establishing the podcast was happening with you talking with Feel. And I'm just hanging out with my friend PM one afternoon. And he just goes, oh yeah, I think GigaBoots wants to do a podcast with you.
Yep, because in classic Dan fashion, I talk about shit way before I'm gonna do it. And I'm like,
So I knew probably 2 days after you mentioned it on the stream, he's like, yeah, Dan apparently wants to do a podcast with you. I'm like, you know what? Maybe. Maybe he does. Maybe Feel told him the legend of KZ Excellent.
but yeah, that's how all that happened, and here we are. What's the next bit of email?
This is from Lysergix?
Lysergix.
Lysergix, let's go with that. With everyone on the podcast having experience with most, if not every major Kingdom Hearts game, I wanted to get your guys' hot takes on the floaty combat subject that's being thrown around. Do you think that it's something that affects your experience as much as they say it does? Do you think it's a bit silly for an action RPG series to cater to the design aspects of a character action game? Or is it all just hyperbole and everyone is just being annoying and ridiculous over something that doesn't even matter? Oh god, this is a run-on sentence. Because the games they complain about that feel fine. It's not the whole point of the games, and people can genuinely be lemmings when it comes to hearing other people's opinions.
Okay. One, I was so sad you didn't say hyperbole.
Instead of hyperbole.
So floaty combat in the way that is being described by most people who complain about it is that there's a lot of times you will do attacks in these games and they leave you in the air in a state where you can't do anything. and you're waiting, there's a lot of landing lag involved, and it's mostly with the previous 2 games you guys played on stream.
Mm-hmm.
And Kingdom Hearts 2 doesn't really have much of that.
No.
To that degree, so it feels a lot snappier, and these people are insane.
So I'm gonna say something that sounds like I'm leaning one direction, but just stick with me. I totally fucking get it. Your combo lands with you in midair. You don't fall very fast, which means you literally can't engage with yourself or do anything meaningful for the next few seconds, and it happens so often. It leaves you in air. It feels floaty. I get what you're saying. At the same time, I don't expect Kingdom Hearts to control as well as Bayonetta or anything like that. So when I hear game journalists compare it, it just drives me fucking bonkers, because it's like Bayonetta is a game where the level of polish of the way you move and stuff like that, it cuts into content production time. And Kingdom Hearts would not be as enjoyable to 95% of the fucking fan base if it felt a good bit more polished and tight and like really top level action game, but had half as many moves and spells and 2/3 the content. People care way more about the content scale than they do the gameplay feel. Also, this sort of thing was much easier to nail back in the PS2 gen, I would think, because of input lag. Bob, what's your opinion on this?
I'm split on it because I can see where they're coming from. I really can. Being stuck in air doesn't feel great. At the same time, I feel like even Kingdom Hearts 2, where it's at its best, the game doesn't feel amazing to play. Like the game that's not
is fun.
Right, it's fun. But that's
thank you, Reggie.
It's not what it's going for. It's a lot more about the crazy flashy moves you get. All the new transformations look really cool too. I'm not worried about it from that perspective. Like,
yeah,
maybe I just haven't engaged with Kingdom Hearts 2 enough. Like, I'm trying to do a critical mode run, but I don't have a lot of time to do it. So I'm kind of sneaking that in between other things. Yeah, I don't feel like Kingdom Hearts has the depths to be super upset about this.
Yeah, that's basically where I was landing. Phil, what's your opinion?
I really don't notice the floaty stuff that much. Like, I notice it occasionally, but I don't, like, here's the thing. The floatiness and a lot of the stuff people complain about are really obviously concessions made for portable games.
You say that, but 0.2 actually has very similar, combos end with you in midair sort of thing in low grav.
Yeah, but it's not as bad, and that's still like a really unpolished version of 3, it feels like.
It absolutely is a really unpolished version of 3.
It says at this point, what, a 2-year-old demo?
Like, here's my take is basically that, like, I don't even consider Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts 2 the same genre. Like, Birth by Sleep swings way more to the RPG side of things, where you're supposed to get the dopamine burst in your brain when you see all the commands level up on the side.
It has one of the greatest mechanics in the series, command melding.
And you're supposed to, focus on the RPG side more with leveling up your commands, so you have like leveling is hyper important in Big Birth by Sleep. Like 2 levels will make you.
Yeah, stats are so much more important.
We found that out really a lot on that stream.
And I can like rejigger my brain where it goes, okay, you have to play Birth by Sleep this way. And a lot of people, and I don't go, oh, but I want it to play. My brain doesn't go, oh, but I want to play it like Kingdom Hearts 2. My brain just goes, oh, this is a different game. I need to play it a different way. Like, yes, I want Kingdom Hearts 3 to be more responsive, because I think that's ultimately the bad part of it, is that it's less responsive, because there's so much time where you can just do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks like they've pretty much nailed that not being a problem.
I mean, I think the people who are coming to Kingdom Hearts for having an insanely high level combat play are maybe mildly misguided. I don't feel
I think they might really like Super Smash Brothers Melee.
I mean, what we're describing here is absolutely that scenario.
Because it's that thing of one game comes out with really good core mechanics, and then the other ones change things in a way that people dislike, and it's never gonna go back.
Hey. Birth by Sleep feels way better than Brawl.
Yeah, no, every Kingdom Hearts game. I haven't played 358 over 2 days. I'm willing to put money on that.
I know, Birth by Sleep is like, what if they brought out the Wii U? the Wii U version.
Right. And that's the
and
thing.
Everything else is like ultimate going up.
Yeah, I do think Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to feel better than the portable titles. I don't think the floaty combat is a huge problem. I think it does just feel different, but also if you don't like it as much, that's also reasonable. It's about having your expectations grounded. I don't think at any point in any trailer they showed off anything that made me go, yeah, this combat's going to be more polished than ever and really, really Kino, like super tight. Like some fucking Kamiya shit.
I said that.
Yeah, I like the combat is going to be about, Sora turning his Keyblade into 2 giant yo-yos and then flossing while he swings them everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really what
fine.
they're going for.
That's what I'm here for break time. I don't know what everyone else is here for. I'm a little confused.
I think there's a lot of concessions being made when it comes to the floaty animation for like ending combos.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of those transformation combos just are longer.
Yes.
And they just want everything to play out properly.
Mm.
And that's just a concession they have to do because some of those are just really long.
This animation cost $300,000. You're watching it.
Look at the money in that game.
There's so much. I do
Nomura
love.
just kicks open your door with a bucket of money and a plunger. It's going down your eye holes.
I do love that KZ has made fun of the VR experience so many times, but it's like if the VR experience is just the ending cutscenes from Dream Drop, it'll be worth every cent. Just for you to sit there.
I had given no proof that it's all the Kino scenes from Kingdom Hearts, but if it was, I'll buy the VR.
Just imagine being able to like free camera around that scene of the glowing Xehanort and Mickey Mouse facing off.
Dude.
Okay. But I think
I want to free roam around every Terra cutscene. I want him to talk to me and say, "Are you scared of me?"
I want to be scared of him in real time. But we all pretty much land on the same point there. Mr. Feel, what's the next email?
This is from Anonymous D, and he has multiple questions, so I'll just go one at a time. Will we actually get PSN name changes, or will Sony find changing a PSN name to cause the user to be set on fire? The potential problems they have listed are numerous. How will they fix them? It's been 13 years, Sony, so I have a theory on what this will entail. I think when the PS5 comes out, Sony's just going to implement a new system, which is like, tell us what you want the display name for your PSN account to be, and that will be what is shown to everybody, and nobody ever gets to see your actual PSN name ever.
So
that sounds like what people wanted.
What it sounds like is the new system, because they already have that in beta. I'm not sure how many people listening to this realize they already have name changes in a beta.
Mm-hmm.
And
that list of warnings.
That list of warnings is insane.
It's ridiculous. Like, you might lose things you paid for. And I'm like, what?
And they're not going to push that out. They are not going to push it out until they get that part out.
Here's what the Sony I know is going to do. The Sony who had PlayStation Minis canceled it. The Sony who had PlayStation Mobile canceled it. The Sony who the Sony that shut shit down way ahead of time. Changing your name is going to break compatibility with half of the PS4 library, so they're going to wait 6 months into the PS5 and be like, oh, hey, you could do this now. They're just going to let it break your shit. They're going to be like, oh, we had a screen that warned you. Too bad you signed away your rights to be able to sue us years ago.
Like, I would pay Sony $50 to change my PSN name.
I cannot... every time this conversation happens, I'm like, sweet Christ, am I lucky that I didn't name myself Juggalo Juice 32XX like everyone else seems to have.
Well, when the PS5 comes out, I'm just going to switch because fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just switch to another PSN account.
Yeah,
There
do it.
probably isn't any digital game that I'm going to be that thirsty for.
I mean, here's the thing. You still have your old account. You can always go back.
But I'd have to pay for PlayStation Network twice.
Only if it was an online game. Or you needed
Just
the
imagine
cloud.
all the bad PSN names that desperately need to be changed, like Buttplug 87 and My Mouth 23.
Dan, I buy all fighting games digitally because otherwise I don't play them.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay to keep your DRM rights. All you have to do is, yes, that's right, digital rights management. rights. All you have to do is pay for PlayStation Plus if you need your cloud save backup. That's literally that, and online play is all you need to pay for PlayStation Plus.
And if it's on the same PlayStation, or as long as the master account has Plus, you can use it for all its accounts.
That's true. For example,
really? Okay, that's way better.
But that situation I just covered.
Yeah, the
cloud saving,
it
wouldn't save you from that. But you could play online. Yeah, so if your PS5's primary account is, your PlayStation handle of insert joke here, then
I thought Discord cut out. You actually had nothing.
I
thought he was waiting for me to say it like it was a trap.
I think Patrick Klepek mentioned his PlayStation name, and it was like, man, what an idiot.
Yeah.
Softboy87.
No, that would be better. It was that bad. Keep in mind, isn't he the guy who co-wrote Killer Bong 3 or whatever? Bongzilla? I can't remember what the name of the movie he co-wrote was.
See, mine is worse than all of those.
Yeah, I'm sure. But anyway, as long as it's the primary account, like your PS5 is registered as your primary PS5 for that console, the PlayStation Plus works on every account on that console, so you can play online as your new account. Just, you won't get cloud saves. That's basically the only major thing.
The only time I've ever used those is when the disk drive on my original PS4 died.
Ew.
So I had to upload all the things to the cloud and then go get a PlayStation 4 Pro.
But what is cloud gaming?
Here's Anonymous D's second question. What do you think of Activision publishing Sekiro? Is this a hit the panic button moment or nothing to worry about? I think From Software just went, we're making a game. We don't need any of you to publish it for us, but do any of you want to? And Activision said, okay.
Yeah, I mean, FromSoft, the people who made Dark Souls, said, hey, we're making a new IP. It's in the action genre. And Activision's like, hell yeah. We love looks through back catalog Tenchu?
Right, it's like they published Tenchu back in the day, guys. Just if you forgot.
Oh, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
That's why you're never going to get another Tenchu, by the way.
That's like when that was getting announced around E3 time. There was a lot of hints being dropped about Activision. And people were going, oh, this definitely has to be a Tenchu thing then.
Yep.
No, it wasn't, but it is.
And 3, what is your favorite super boss in all of Kingdom Hearts? Data battles count.
Yeah, Dan, what's your favorite super boss in Kingdom Hearts?
Candy Goggles.
That's my least favorant super boss.
It had the best song in the game, though.
Yeah, that song was a banger.
You want to blow your fans' ears out again?
I honestly don't get it. Like, that song is charming.
That song is fucking hilarious.
Someone asked me a question today.
Yeah.
That's like, what if your gummy ship in 3 has like, as a part of Namor's revenge against Tabata, has a radio in it that you can change, just like Final Fantasy 15, but it also has that Dream Eater song.
Now that you've said that, I'm almost positive the gummy ship's gonna have a radio.
I mean, the gummy ship's got a cell phone.
Because there's like a free roaming there's like a free roaming element before you go through the route, so that at least will absolutely have a radio.
Yeah, it looks like they've straight up just gotten rid of the choose a world and just more you pick a place to go and you just beam in, and then you just start roaming toward it.
Is everyone excited for when your gummy ship breaks down? Donald, Goofy, and Sora have to get out and push it?
Only if it plays Stand By Me.
Oh.
That's the best thing to come out of Final Fantasy 15, and I like Final Fantasy 15. That cover is great.
Yeah, it makes me feel all fuzzy and gooey. But what's your favorite super boss, Bob?
Sephiroth. He's the only one I've actually played.
There you go. How about you, Feel?
Probably Data Roxas in Kingdom Hearts 2.
That's a really strong one, because KH2 had super versions of every organization fight that are meant to be like near max level.
And I did all of them on Critical last year.
Yeah, that's a fun time.
For most of them, I had to watch speedrunners do it and copy what they did.
Yeah, pretty much.
While we're on the topic of Kingdom Hearts, did you guys see that Egoraptor is apparently going to do a one stream playthrough of Kingdom Hearts 1 coming up?
Once again, the big people ride the coattails of the small.
Yeah, somebody literally replied to his tweet and went, but GigaBoots already did it.
He's probably gonna have a catered lunch.
They did all of them because they're a psychopath.
Because they have commitment beyond reason.
Like, one, it's gonna be bad because Egoraptor typically isn't funny all the time, but also he hates Kingdom Hearts, which is no surprise. He hates video games with cutscenes in them.
So
no.
what
Of
I've
course
been
he does.
The reason I thought about this is because I also thought about, like, this is the podcast we've launched. People who listen to this are Kingdom Hearts fans, a lot of them. We're gonna be the only podcast after that game comes out that doesn't make Kingdom Hearts fans want to scratch their eyes out. Because the mainstream coverage of Kingdom Hearts 3 is something that's really gonna make me hurt.
So I had this funny thought the other day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I just wonder how many game journalists who constantly whine that games need to have more of a female audience fucking hate Kingdom Hearts when Kingdom Hearts has like the biggest female fan base of any game franchise.
Yep.
It's like so strange.
Tens of thousands of fans, and none of them have infiltrated game journalism. It can't happen.
I don't know.
IGN finally got a guy.
Oh yeah.
He hosts like their PlayStation podcast, and he did some coverage today talking about, because they went to Japan, which for some reason Kingdom Hearts 3 is really under lock and key, which is surprising given it leaked.
Right.
They straight up for preview stuff said, "Come to Japan, you'll watch our co-director play the game."
Nice.
And they were talking about it. It was very eloquent, and I was like, "This wasn't bad." Giant Bomb though.
Yeah, I love the guys over at Giant Bomb, but listening to them talk about most of the franchises I love, it's a trying experience.
The ludonarrative dissonance of Kingdom Hearts.
What was it? One of them last week was talking about what they hope the next Pokemon game is. They literally described 5th gen. They're like, I want 150 new Pokemon, brand new. And then when you beat the game, it unlocks the rest. And I'm like, Jesus!
That's why I like Black and White the most, and I think they should shoot for that for every gen.
I agree.
Yeah. No,
5th gen was the peak.
They just take the time and do that.
Instead of we put 30 Kanto Pokemon in the first half of the game.
See, the sad part is I can't tell if he's talking about Sun and Moon or X and Y because
talking
both of
about
them.
both.
Oh
both
fuck,
of
they
them
were
did.
in both. But
Yeah,
X and Y was worse because they're like, here's a Kanto starter.
Okay, but I like the Alolan variants a lot most of them because they're really well designed.
Those I'm totally fine
they have
with.
neat
That's
ideas behind them. I haven't told this anecdote on this podcast. It'll be quick. My brother, Steven Video Games, who's 5 years older than me, so he's 87 in KZ's book.
Great. Donald Duck, high concept. Too much for him.
He sat out on Pokemon since the very first gen, okay? And finally, through my own extreme joy for the franchise, because I'm a huge Pokemon fan, I'm not sure people realize that, he finally gets back in for X and Y, and what the fuck do? The first forest is straight up that fucking forest from first gen. It's got all the same Pokemon in it, and he just gives me this look of, have you seriously been playing the same fucking game this whole time?
It's like, no, you don't understand.
I was literally stammering and screaming, and I'm like, no! The last one was completely new!
It's really weird to me that X and Y is overall really forgettable and bad, but has some unbelievably good Pokemon designs in it.
Yes, it does, like the sword.
And the Chandelier.
And the pumpkin.
Yeah,
no, that was the gen before it.
They're just...
Chandelure was not 5th gen, was it? Wait, maybe it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
I feel like it was.
Chandelure was 5th gen. He's right, because that was a really good Pokemon in Black and White. But the pumpkin and the sword are 6th gen.
Yeah, Pumpkin Gourd is also good.
I really like the keychain. I know people
I like that.
Fucking hilarious. I love every argument I got into about keychain.
The gooey dragon.
Please don't talk about the gooey dragon.
Never mind. Oh, God.
I like
Why did I
the
ruin
delinquent
everything?
panda.
You creepy man.
Yes.
I like the delinquent panda. He's good.
But yes.
Bunnelby.
Bunnelby's good. Wait, isn't that 5th gen? Baneri?
Is he?
I like Charmander.
Charmander's a good 6th gen Pokemon.
Oh, shit. My bad.
But
I
yeah.
like Go-Goat.
Go-Go is good. But anyway, we should move on.
Oh, yeah. Sephiroth is cool.
Okay, so I'm going to handle this one. alone. I mean, obviously, you guys can. This is from Jordevio. Hello, big-brained gods that study at the Kingdom Hearts wiki. For the past few years, my dream game has been a platinum action game reboot of Mega Man X. What are some game ideas that you have that in your head that seem absolutely perfect? This will probably be its own podcast.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it actually will.
It's in the pipeline.
It's in the pipeline. We're working on it.
We ain't spoiling it though.
We're not gonna spoil it. But seriously, keep an eye out.
Please look forward to it. The first episode, half their equipment will break again.
Which will be great because we'll have, weirdly enough, backup equipment of all of the equipment that breaks.
So your replacements will arrive the same day.
That is literally what happened before this podcast. It is so insane.
So this is from Anubhav. I think is how you pronounce that. Hi, Beat TD crew. I was watching the Giant Bomb Game of the Year deliberations and almost wanted to gouge my eyes out when Brad insinuated that the Blades moment... Oh, I actually should say, Dan, can I read this? It's about God of War.
Oh, yeah, no, we're past the Blades of Chaos.
Okay. Brad insinuated that the Blades moment in God of War 2018 was too fan servicey to have any weight in the story. It was probably the best moment in an otherwise underwhelming story for me, and it felt like legitimate reverence to the old games that made God of War what it is today. I can't help but... Okay, I can't help but feel journos making similar claims for Kingdom Hearts 3 doing the same with callbacks in the previous games, DMC5 having weapons and other callbacks to the previous games, and so on. Wanted to know your take on this.
So
basically, what's the difference between fan service and reverence, I guess?
I mean, that's the thing here. I think it worked for its spot in the story. I think thinking that it's just bullshit fan service is a little weird. I don't know. I think it should
be obvious, right? Of what is something that is serving the story, or they're referencing something because it's a part of the plot, and we included this for you to be excited about it for a few seconds and it's never mentioned again.
Like the Blades in God of War 2018, the whole game you wonder what happened to them because he doesn't have them and you don't see them. And then there's it's the best part of the story. It's, he has a reason to go get them. He reflects on them.
Yeah.
Like there's conflict about him not wanting to use them because they represent his past.
It's literally a layer to the story. Like,
I don't even think God of War's story is that good, but that part was great.
I mean, it's a functional part of it and it works. Yeah. So like, I think being frustrated and saying it's too fan servicey is a little dumb. But
and it's so far in the game that you start to think they aren't in it.
Right. Yeah. That's where we were, because honestly, the axe is so well fleshed out that you would believe
like 60% into the game.
Right. You would honestly believe that maybe that the axe is the only thing. So it was surprising when it was the Blades of Chaos. Like,
because so many of the mechanics are tied to the axe, to the puzzles, how you get upgrades.
I don't know. I'm just going to say I theorize that Brad maybe doesn't like normal God of War fans.
Yep.
And that maybe that was just his slightly unfiltered way of saying he experienced that part of the story, thought about the people who would like it, and didn't like it based on that. I don't know, though.
He didn't even get to that part of the story. He was described that situation.
Well, okay, then in that case, like
he just
maybe the person who described
that makes me not want to play the game now that I heard that they're doing fan service in the game.
Well, then he can't. I was under the impression he had actually seen it. That's the only reason I even commented on this.
No, it's much worse.
It's a sequel. It's not a new game series. It's a sequel.
Yeah, I don't.
And the people that would get on Kingdom Hearts 3 for referencing previous entries in the final chapter of a story arc, that can't happen.
You know
it's going to happen, but it can't happen.
This is all fucking EA's fault.
What? Okay, Mr. Feel has said the sentence, when Dan says a crazy thing, people can still enjoy his content because they go, Dan's just a crazy guy on the internet. We finished a 10-minute conversation about Brad from Giant Bomb's opinion on a fan service scene in God of War, and Feel concludes with, this is EA's fault.
Okay, hear me out, though.
Okay.
EA's stupid fucking Mass Effect 3 is the perfect place to start with Mass Effect shit. Poisoned every gaming journalist, every single one of them.
God, there's no way. There's no way they have that much poison.
I regularly see people go, yeah, I want to get into this big story heavy series. Can I just skip all of it and only see the most recent thing?
Yeah.
That's just how people are.
That's how people are. That's how most people are.
Do I play these in chronological order?
I see good thing. Can I have good thing now and be just as good? And it's like, well, no, you can't. You have legitimately.
But the other thing, like, why wouldn't you
the
go?
game
Oh boy,
developers are bad. It has to be 100% approachable, and it can't reference the other things, or they made a bad game.
I don't understand. Oh, I only want that good thing though, not the 15 good things that led up to it.
Because Phil,
Those
you
aren't
gotta
new.
understand. What I did for Kingdom Hearts is not what most people, even half of most people, are reasonably going to do. Because
The zeitgeist.
Kingdom
They need
Hearts
to be
1
there.
Kingdom Hearts 1 is a really rough game, you guys.
It's amazing.
By the end of that stream, the first one, I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy doing the rest of these games, but I'm going to stick it out because hopefully
And then you saw the jump.
Then I got to Kingdom Hearts 2, and I'm like, immediately off the bat, I'm like, this feels so much better. Most franchises go through that effect, you know, to enjoy the new one. People maybe don't want to, they don't have the time to invest in all the other games, you know, in their opinion. They're cowards. They should just stop sleeping like me. They
have to spend 100 hours in Assassin's Creed. They can't play these games.
Right, they can't. They spent 80 hours in
Please
Red Dead.
don't get me started on that. I'll go on a fucking tangent about how if a Japanese game isn't one full speed minute one, game journalists rip it to shreds, but fucking Assassin's Creed gets to be shitty for 25 hours before it gets good, and they write articles defending that.
Yeah, no, that happens all the time. Because they're getting immersed in the world when Assassin's Creed and Red Dead take their time. It's really setting up the stage with all these rich characters. But Final Fantasy 13 could go fuck itself.
I mean, Final Fantasy 13 can go fuck itself,
but so can Red Dead and Assassin's Creed. That's the important thing. All of these games could go fuck themselves.
Okay, so Anonymous B says, big hello to Dan, KZ, and Feel, the big think boys. Was wondering with all the Kingdom Hearts 3 hype coming up to its release. If you were to add any other live-action Disney film as a world to Kingdom Hearts other than Pirates and Tron, which would it be? Personally, I think the themes of the movie Holes would mesh really well with Kingdom Hearts. I'd also want to give Shia LaBeouf a Keyblade.
That has to be one of my viewers. It has to be.
Yes, it does.
Also, hello, Bob.
God!
Hi.
He acknowledges he left you out at the beginning! Bob, do you need me to call the paramedic?
I have been sufficiently burned. I get it.
Bob doesn't have to think big. He already knows.
So the problem here is that every live-action Disney movie in the past 10 years has just been a remake of an animated movie.
Right, and like even then, even if you ignore that, I can't think of too many other than Mary Poppins.
I already have it.
Song of the South. Like I don't. But
Now,
Casey,
I
God,
assume
no, please, Dan.
Now,
just-
I assume we are not counting Disney Channel original movies because they have a lot of those.
Yeah, let's...
I want Hannah Montana.
They got the Halloween Town quadrilogy. They got various movies. However, I'm locking it in. National Treasure.
They own that?
Is that a
But-
Disney movie?
Yes, it is. Nicolas Cage is epic. They refused to make a third one.
God. Okay, here's mine. Since they don't want to put Marvel in, they have to do Sky High.
Oh my
I
god.
only saw trailers. It looked so bad.
Okay, I'm having a moment. Feel imagine National Treasures in Kingdom Hearts 3. Maleficent and Pete think the Declaration of Independence is a page from the Book of Prophecies. There's so much fucking potential here.
It's so
I'm
good.
turning into fucking stone.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. I didn't fucking believe KZ that this was a goddamn Disney movie, so I googled it.
It is. It is a Disney movie. Both films.
Or Nomura will go with the thing that Disney is guaranteed to not give a shit about, which is John Carter.
No.
That was Disney too?
Yeah, John Carter
Yep.
was Disney. Pre-Marvel era was rough.
Or, you know, I mean, like the obvious answer here, oh, wow, they could do fucking Tomorrowland. Boy, that was a success.
Yeah. Somehow Kingdom Hearts got even more preachy.
Like the obvious answer would be the Muppets. Just put the Muppets in.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
that'd be
that's
fine.
the easy answer.
Yeah, and there you go. It'd work perfectly on the Switch Kingdom Hearts, which is going to be the one after 3. You know, they're going to make a game for the Switch.
It'll be a multi-plat, but yeah.
Okay, I'm losing my mind because apparently this was at least distributed by Disney. They could do Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
Oh no.
Well, that'd be an Ubisoft related thing that controlled well.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
Lord.
been a while. It's been 13 years.
We have a potential to get Jake Gyllenhaal into a Kingdom Hearts game.
He'll be in the Marvel world in the next Kingdom Hearts game.
So what's the next email?
Okay, this is from Valkyrie Slayer. Are there any hopes of Sonic Team making a good Sonic game again? No. The
Ruh-roh.
quality has gone from hit or miss to mostly miss of late. Should Sonic Team stick to making non-Sonic games, ironic as that sound, and leave it up to other devs? Sonic Team basically doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
They got rolled into another studio.
And then
Really?
Sonic Mania's team is taking over.
What?
For at least 2D Sonic projects, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's looking like
That's
you'll
good.
just get more Mania-style games from that studio, and they'll just outsource any other Sonic
I
game
love,
they may want to make.
I love that Bob's
I mean, it's-
reaction was, that's crazy. And it's like, no, it's the only sane thing in this crazy world.
What are you talking
Yes.
about? Sonic Team makes great games. They're Kino.
No,
like, Sonic Team clearly hasn't had an actual vision in like a decade, if not more.
Oh, decade. Let me check that Sonic Unleashed. Okay, I'm going to leave that joke on the table and walk away.
I saw interviews for Sonic Forces, and I got incredibly depressed at the way they described it. Because I'm someone who really likes the boost-style Sonic games, like, a lot. And was very disappointed that they just stopped making those, like, after generations. And then they promoted this new game. And then they said, the engine only got finished 11 months before the game came out. And we took out all of the really good mechanics with the boost gameplay that made it a bit more skill-based, like drifting and other things, because they're like, that made it too hard. And it just, they're killing me.
As deeply, deeply flawed as Sonic Unleashed is on many levels, that game still feels like it had a vision.
It's cool.
You know what that game's vision is? That game's vision is we need slower character action levels in order to pad out this game, because having Sonic run this fast across all these assets will result in a 2-hour game. They were very transparent
Yes.
about that.
I know.
And their solution was fucking miserable. Those action scenes are so fucking bad. Sonic Unleashed, the non-Wii version, because we played the PS3 360 version and also the Wii version. The PS3 360 version of Sonic Unleashed was honestly one of the worst parts of Sonic Month.
I feel like if you removed 3 or 4 night stages,
The metal system.
cut the metal requirements, cut the metal system either entirely or by 60%.
entirely,
So-
and then you made the game run well.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
What you do is you make that same structure for a game, and you figure out a plot reason that the character action part is a platinum game, and you get platinum to fucking handle that part. Then you got a great game.
I feel like Platinum could just make a better Sonic game in general.
That or
Like-
you just make it even. Make the even distribution between one gameplay style and the other. But it was like 80% Werehog stuff, 20% normal Sonic stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked the environments.
Yeah.
I'm the one person who liked all those hubs.
I like those hubs too. I was cool with the Werehog stuff, but there's just too much of it.
I really liked the what it was obviously the Spain level.
Yeah.
I really liked that on a visual
There's a
level.
reason that one kept
Yeah,
coming
that
back.
game is fucking beautiful, even by today's standards. Like, the environments are gorgeous, and they explained how they did it was like some insanely intensive. Yeah, we ray traced like the lighting for the level and baked it in, and then did
Fucking ray
like,
tracing.
Yeah, no, I don't know why you guys treated it like it was a marketing gimmick. It's been a core technology in 3D graphics for a really long time. Anyway, they did
we're
these
not
beautifully pre-baked things for like all these different levels, and it's like, this environment looks so pretty to look at. And then you hit nighttime, and it's like, the environment's still pretty, but Jesus, kill me.
So honestly, here's what I think is going to happen with the next big console Sonic game. I really think Sega's just going to be like, Nintendo, please make us a Sonic game. Here's money. It can be exclusive to the Switch.
And then Nintendo will be like, awesome. How about this, though? We'll hand it to one of our trusted second-party developers, and we'll oversee them doing it. And then the Luigi Mansion people will just scream and punch their desks because they're stuck making Luigi's Mansion 3 instead of that. And then he'll hand it off to Kamiya.
Please let them make another Punch-Out.
I know!
I was gonna say, is
good.
it still Next Level Games doing the Luigi's Mansion
Yeah,
shit?
sadly, they're still trapped in that hellscape.
They have to make Luigi's Mansion 3 the game no one asked
I've been
for.
dreaming. I've been dreaming about the Nintendo Direct announcement of here is a brand new Punch-Out game. And then at the end they go, also coming in 2 months, Punch-Out Wii HD.
Yeah.
I'd be happy just with that second one.
Yeah, me too. That was a really great game.
It's one of my favorite Wii games, period. It's just really
Like,
solid.
That game matches any Nintendo first-party output, and I can't believe Nintendo saw that and then didn't immediately realize what they had.
Well, the problem is they didn't market it at all. Like that game, they didn't. They really didn't put their full weight behind marketing it. The sad thing is, I feel like ARMS is the Punch-Out Wii of this gen. ARMS is a really beautiful game, really fun, and has great character designs. And they just released it and like didn't fully develop a story mode. Like that game came out with it wasn't done. They pushed it out early just to get another Switch launch title out in the first 4 months. Sorry, first 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
It's absurd. It's like we really didn't need this game in May or June. We needed this game when it had a story mode and some content. Like they added 3 characters.
Yeah,
but
it looks cool. It just was too content light that I just didn't latch onto it at all.
I mean, I eventually bought that game, but I didn't buy it at launch like I planned to because there was jack shit for single player content. It has really cool modes. It has really great characters. It has jack shit for single player content. And
imagine one of Nintendo's core teams, like they make a small team based on the people that do 3D Mario and said, "Hey, try the Sonic thing out. See what we can maybe pull out here."
I mean, we already know that Nintendo doesn't really like doing more than one 3D Mario a generation.
Right.
Like
so if they had a Sonic that they got to make, that could be insanely cool.
Yeah, that would be a nice break for them because holy shit, how do you top Odyssey?
Imagine a sandbox Sonic game.
What about Sonic Adventure 3?
I still think we're going to get another Mario just because Odyssey came out the first year.
Twilight Princess and Breath of the Wild would like to have a talk with you if that's your reasoning.
Galaxy 2.
That's the one time it ever happened.
Both the Wii and the GameCube had 2 Zelda games.
Yes, by cheating, you could say both the Wii and the GameCube had 2 Zelda games. It's just, you add them up and there were only 3.
By cheating.
It is cheating because it's the same game across 2 generations for at least, for both of them on the Wii's. Because you get Breath of the Wild on the Wii U and the Switch, and then you get Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword on the Wii. I don't know. I feel like Breath of the Wild coming out at the very end of the Wii U is evidence that it's like it takes way too long to make a Zelda game. I do think they'll come out with another one of those. I don't think they're going to come out with another 3D Mario. I think they're going to try to make a Breath of the Wild with proper temple design.
So this is the RPG dude. He has 2 questions, but one of them overlaps with another person, so I'll just do the first one and then
okay.
Read the second with that person's. Hey there, Dan, Bob, KZ, and Mr. Feel. I hope you are all having a great day. It's night now. I have 2 days for everyone I have 2 questions for everyone to answer for the podcast. The second one is, if you had the choice to decide on a new entry to an existing game series, what would it be? We're going to have a podcast about that.
We're going to have a podcast about that. Please look forward to it. None of us will ever speak its name until it's launched because we're too scared.
Exactly.
Bananas and pajamas.
So please look forward to that. It will come out sometime.
The RPG dude's second question, which is the same question that Yuki Mizuno has, is what confirmed 2019 video games are you guys looking forward to playing other than Kingdom Hearts 3? Because I know you're all going to play it.
I'll start my list. It's pretty short. Resident Evil 2, Devil May Cry 5, and Bloodstained. Bob?
I've got all those on my list, of course. Devil May Cry 5 is the top. But I really do want to play Sekiro, Indivisible, and
oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to being really pissed at The Last of Us 2 if that makes it out by the end of this year.
Why
that's not something I'm looking forward to.
Because I don't think it's going to be a good game.
Oh, okay.
Keep in mind, I like The Last of Us Part 1. Like, I like the original The Last of Us. But I don't think 2 is going to be a good game.
But yeah, those are definitely my top picks. What about you, Phil?
Resident Evil 2, obviously. DMC 5, Sekiro.
Oh shit, Animal Crossing's this year.
Oh yeah, Animal Crossing's this year. I definitely want to play Animal Crossing.
Pokemon's this year.
I'm interested in the Sinking City, which is the like the Cthulhu mythos detective game in like a weird canal city.
Yeah, that thing looks neat.
Was that the EA original game?
I forget.
No, I think you're thinking of a different game. I can't remember the name.
Yeah, I remember like an abysmally presented like underwater or water.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah, that
that's
thing.
A separate
Can't
game.
remember the name of that, but that's a different thing from what he's talking about.
Doom Eternal for sure.
Oh fuck, that's this year. Yes,
gonna be great.
Doom Eternal.
This is obviously the best year in video games.
Project Judge Eyes, which is the Yakuza spinoff. I'm really excited to play that because it has a totally different story and a different combat system and looks really cool.
It's getting a dub.
Yeah, it's getting a dub, which I think is a little weird, but okay.
Also, I believe it's being called Judgment over here.
Yeah, which is a worse name than Judge Eyes.
No, it's cool. It just reminds me of that that PlayStation 3 PlayStation Eye game where you had cards.
Eye of Judgment?
Eye of Judgment, yeah.
Rage 2. I'm interested in Rage 2. I don't know how it's going to be,
Anthem.
but I'm interested in it.
I have that same reaction to Rage 2.
I like that Phil says Rage 2 and KZ's brain goes Anthem, just like immediately connected in his brain.
Let's see. Code Vein. I'm like the only person alive interested in Code Vein, which is the anime Dark Souls.
Right, I thought that was supposed to
making.
Like they delayed it to this year. I thought that we'd hear more about it by now.
Yeah. Why?
Well, it was supposed to be out in September. It got delayed to this year because I guess they're just polishing it up.
Right.
They're taking a lot of feedback from those demos they were doing.
Yeah, that's the Koei Tecmo thing. Where it made Neo go from a bad game to a good one. Dragon Quest Builders 2, because I didn't play the first one and I want to play the second one, and I'm not going to go back and buy the first one.
The first one was pretty
Dragon
fun.
Quest Builders 2 to come out.
Yeah.
I think 2 adds multiplayer.
Oh shit!
There's a lot of.
It adds multiplayer.
There's a lot of games this year.
Wow.
The Medieval remake I want to play for the PS4. Supposed to be this year. So is Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Yep.
Which is yet another game I'm interested in playing.
What about Skull and Bones?
It's a real video game.
What about The Surge 2? There's The Surge 2?
Of course, Bloodstained.
Yeah.
I'm interested in Pokemon Gen 8, basically, because I'm interested in seeing what they're going to keep and discard from Let's Go.
I feel like we have to do a Gamer Premonitions for that before they even show one trailer.
Oh my god.
I absolutely want to do that.
Then we got to do that before
they'll release it the day that
my
they'll release a trailer the morning after we record the
I know, and that'll be beautiful. We have to sit there and come up with a list of 5 Pokemon that are definitely happening. It's gonna be like a Pocket Protector, but it's got a Pikachu.
Like we have to predict what country the region will be based on.
Right, obviously.
We have to guess at Pokemon. We have to guess at what the enemy team will be.
And we have to guess.
It'll be great.
We have to guess the narrative theme and the gimmick for the game. You know, like Mega Evolutions for 7th Gen and the Alolan stuff for 8th. And, you know, also the Big Kahuna thing for 8. Yeah.
Or 7.
Yeah. Oh, 7. Sorry.
Oh, I totally skipped one, so let's go back to this question. This is from Molan. Examples or games or mechanics in games you feel make good use of the medium to tell their story.
KZ didn't get to answer what games he was excited for this year, right?
Oh, who did? Oh, I'm sorry, KZ.
I was gonna wait for this question to end, then loop back to it. But sure. Resident Evil 2,
Devil May Cry 5,
Devil May Cry 5, Sekiro, Bloodstained, Doom Eternal. I'm very scared for that Team Sonic racing because that looks weird, and I really like the last one.
Yeah, I'm excited and scared at the same time too.
I'm ashamed to say this, but I completely lost interest when they said it was Sonic only. Like
I started losing interest when it was revealed to be a team thing because that destroyed my interest in Onrush.
Yeah. Onrush could be so good if it weren't an always online weird multiplayer experience.
Yeah.
I just wanted a cool arcade racer where you're just supposed to win.
No, just drive in a circle for like 2 minutes.
No,
then
guys,
decide the winner.
Guys, it's a MOBA racing game, please. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm somewhat interested in Digimon Survive, which is the Digimon like tactics game that's looking to try and do like flash animated sprites.
Huh.
Oh,
And
weird.
that looked pretty that looked interesting.
Did you play either of the Cyber Sleuth games?
I played the first one. I didn't like most of it, but I thought some of it was cool. And then the second one I dropped off pretty fast.
I haven't started the second one yet. I have it right next to me.
The second one is totally this is the side story that's happening at the same time. Which is interesting because you'll see like your character from the first game occasionally in the background. Because it also imports your save and your playtime, which made me have a stroke.
Whoa. I don't even know if I still have my playtime on my fucking...
Yeah, so they're like, here's your playtime from that game. Here's all the medals that you collected from the first game. You just have them here too. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. But also Dragon Quest Builders 2, because I think my game of the year that game came out, the first one was Builders. I had a really fun time with that. It's like Minecraft for people who want to have fun playing Minecraft.
Dragon Quest Builders was really cool. Like, oh my god. The thought that they're adding multiplayer is insane.
Yeah, it took me a bit to get adjusted to when a chapter's done, they just tell you, all right, you're going to a new location. All that progress is gone.
Yeah.
So go to this new situation that has different tile sets, but I really enjoyed that. The Outer Worlds looks great.
This just makes me imagine, like, this is going to this will probably upset Dan just by me saying it because it doesn't exist. Combine Dragon Quest Builders, the systems in Dragon Quest Builders, and make an ActRaiser reboot.
Yeah, my if I had gotten into game development instead of, video bullshit, making a spiritual successor to ActRaiser is absolutely what I would have done. Like, I already have ideas.
The closest thing that almost made me feel ActRaiser was that second Ni no Kuni game.
Yeah.
Because it had that kingdom building stuff.
Yeah, too bad it's bad.
I liked the numbers going up feel. It was very exciting for me.
Anything else, KZ, that you're looking forward to?
The Outer Worlds looks good because,
I'm not convinced that's going to come out this year, but I'm also excited for it.
Yeah, I'm not convinced either,
okay.
but I'm...
What game is this?
The Outer Worlds.
The Outer Worlds is the Obsidian dragging the corpse of Bethesda onto the stage and kicking it in the spine a few times.
Yeah,
like that
really
opens
good.
with the enormous banner from the original creators of Fallout.
Yeah,
right. Original creators.
Like, they get to say it. It's
the funny thing is I've actually been experiencing a rather negative response to that whole trailer and idea for a game.
Why?
And I
It
was
was a good trailer.
Yeah, I thought that game looked really good. I don't know.
It was a good trailer, and when they showed like screenshots of it just looking like what if Fallout New Vegas had a different aesthetic and good graphics, I was like, man, I'm in.
Yeah, it would be nice if a game like that ran well ever or looked nice ever.
I just went, those are dialogue boxes. Those are like, you can choose a snarky response and they tell you what it is.
You don't have 4 choices that all mean the same thing.
They're not so focused on voicing the main protagonist.
So if that's your entire list,
yeah, that should be about it.
I would like to note not a single person said Kingdom Hearts 3.
Well, he said not
They
to.
said
Okay.
they said it was disqualified.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because we're all going to play it.
But nobody
We're all gonna play it,
said
and it's coming out in
Cyberpunk.
less
What's up
than
with
2
that?
weeks.
Nobody said what, Bob?
Isn't that supposed to be the biggest game ever?
Yeah, and it's
I
coming
don't
out this
think
year.
it's going to come out this
Totally.
year.
It's definitely not a PS5 game, so don't ask.
I have zero doubt that that's a PS5 game.
Same. Phil and I are on the exact same
That
page.
game
on it.
looks impressive, but I just don't care.
They haven't shown enough for me to really care. It's like I'm getting ready to care really hard as soon as they show something I'm super into.
Like it looks more interesting to me than The Witcher, which looks like the most boring thing I've ever seen.
I put a good 200 hours into that game.
It looks more interesting to me than Deus Ex, like Human Revolution. Like,
Yeah.
I think I could get more into that than I did.
It does seem like it's, hey, let's do Deus Ex right.
Like, stylistically and maybe with a lot of systems.
Well, it's based. I'm sure they're going to be using a lot from the tabletop game, which has a lot of cool stuff. Like it has cyber madness is a thing people can get where if you install too many augments, like you cease being human and you become like a weird freak of nature mutant.
Cyber madness is no reason for cyber rudeness.
Dan is suffering from Kino madness right now.
Cyber madness just made me think it was a sale happening after Black Friday.
Dan's like, what do I need to buy? What are the bargains?
What was Molin's email?
Examples of games or mechanics in games you feel make good use of the medium to tell their story. Dan, if you say the bouncer, I'm going to fly to Florida and kill you.
Say it, Dan. Be brave.
At least I'll get to see Mr. Feel and go, ha, he is a 5'11".
You have to look down to see him.
The example I'm gonna go with is how all the animations in the Yakuza games are really well tailored to the characters and who they are. Like there's no disconnect between the characters' personalities and how they move and hit people.
I guess because he's asking for a mechanic, right? Not like
or just a game that you think makes a good use of the medium to tell their story.
Okay. Well, in Sonic Mania, Sonic goes really fast and Ray can fly. I'm gonna be perfectly honest here. Generally speaking, the sorts of games I enjoy don't do that sort of thing. I have difficulty thinking of games that I enjoy that would even begin to dip their toes into that, where the mechanics or
I've actually got one.
Okay,
I didn't
go
think
ahead.
I'd have one.
Go ahead.
At first I was thinking games like Brothers, for example, was like one that was known for like having some mechanical stuff that really does it. But a series of games I played recently are the Zero Escape games, which are part puzzler, part visual novel. And those games, this is going to be light spoilers, but it's not super huge. Is those games have a flowchart in them through the events of the game, and you will eventually reach an ending in that game, and then you go up the flowchart to the choices you made with the forks in the paths, and you pick something else. But what the game starts doing is you'll learn things, and you will take that knowledge with you, and the characters will start remembering the stuff from previous things you played.
That's good.
Oh, that's incredibly good.
And then it goes crazier than Kingdom Hearts by the end of those games.
Yeah.
In how hard they lean into that stuff, and I think that's a good example of that.
I've been really wanting to play those games bad.
That's the next time I have to stream a story thing with you. You need to do that because it's fucking nuts.
Oh yeah, no, that would be delightful.
If you like awkwardly bad like segments, a couple of those games have some really good stream fodder, because that last game looks so bad. It looks like source filmmaker bad videos.
So I've actually thought of one, but it's old hat as hell. So everyone, please tolerate that, okay? Shadow of the Colossus.
Right, that was one of them. I thought of that's
I mean,
the first one I played.
It's incredibly old, but like what you're doing and the destruction you see around you and how your character, by the way, super spoilers, but fuck it, it's 14. We're going on 14 years old. Anyways, the destruction you see around you because of how smitten you are for someone, that sort of thing. The way you're corrupted and the lives you destroy in order to just blindly follow this because of love. I think that's probably the best execution of that I could think
I should
of.
play that someday.
Oh, that's unfortunate. It's actually a pretty short game. I think you can beat it in under 8, but definitely under 10.
I'll probably get the PS4 versions. It's apparently identical.
Oh, it's fucking gorgeous on PS4 Pro. Holy shit.
Incredible.
It was also the first game where I went, holy fuck, checkerboard rendering is nauseating.
Don't do this.
So,
God damn it.
So just leave
Not
it in
enough ray tracing.
Shut the fuck up, Casey. But yeah, just the PS4 Pro has the performance mode where it kind of runs at 60 in 1080p. So that's great. Yeah, that version's really faithful. Looks fucking gorgeous. You can only barely make the argument that it changes the original artistic intent because the color palette changes slightly, and there are other very, very slight differences. Aside from that, it's really faithful, beautiful. Yeah, just play the PS4 version. You'll be done with it in under 10 hours, I imagine. If you take your time, under 12.
The controls are also revamped as well.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's been a while since I played even the remaster. No fucking, I'm not fucking with you. My copy is still unopened over there, but...
He played my copy a bit.
I played Bob's copy.
I beat 2 Colossi in the new version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do not have free time, as it turns
So
out.
what's Bob got?
Yeah, Bob, what's...
This is tough. Honestly, I like Dan, I don't play many games like this. I was like, oh, that's it. So is the Engines 2, when you're going through that minefield, you feel really frustrated. That's like going through a real minefield.
Bob, I think Dingo is a bit more. I think Dingo's a bit more scared for his life than frustrated. I'm pretty sure when it blows up, he doesn't go, son of a bitch.
I think he does. I think he's of that temperament at that point.
Maybe you should stop
Bob
bashing.
is great because
He's dealt with
Bob
everything.
either brings something great to the table or he implodes.
Okay, so check this out. I have a second pick. You guys ready? Zone of the Enders 2, there's the dialogue mechanic where you can either give positive or negative feedback, and that actually changes Ada as you play through the game. Ada gets more optimistic by the end of the game if you keep using positive responses, and thus you change her throughout the game. You have a positive influence on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zone of the Enders 2. Bob, what were you going to say?
Nothing dumb about minefields.
I mean, if you're gonna compare that, you could also pick that one Silent Hill game on the Wii, where depending on your psych evaluation, you get completely different character types.
I haven't played it, so I it's a Silent Hill game that came out.
It's the game that says this game plays you as much as you play it.
Was this that dungeon crawler they made?
No, that's a Vita.
Okay, I thought it might have been
This
both.
was Silent Hill Shattered Memories. It was
On
the
the
remake,
Wii.
Bob,
reimagining
real quick, Bob, on a fucking recorded podcast, you said that game could have been both on the Vita and the Wii. You said that, and the internet has that forever now, Bob.
Look, I was thinking of it like the PSP.
Could have been on
So
the
I have
Game
another.
Boy.
I have another one.
Yeah.
One shot. I'm not going to explain it at all. So just go play one shot.
Cool. Yes, thank you for not explaining it.
Thank you, Phil. What's the next question?
Jesus, that would have been like the Bob Final Fantasy 15 moment if you explained it.
This is for Kiki. This is from Kiki Hoshi. So this is kind of a simple question. What do you guys personally think make a good character design? For me, it's the memorability and easy to draw. Having a good silhouette is a big thing.
I have one word. Chuny.
Darn it, he stole mine.
Well, since Bob's dead in the streets, I guess it's my turn.
Okay, like
It's gotta look cool.
I like when it's like, this is a really good example of character designs I really like are all the ones in King of Fighters, because it's like, here's sort of like what somebody would actually wear, but we just made it incredibly cool, like the coolest outfit in the world.
Why is Rock Howard so cool?
Why is he so cool? God damn it.
So cool.
Right? I don't know, guys.
It's unreasonable.
But he's still not as cool as no hat, untied hair, bomber jacket Terry.
Unbelievably.
And none of those are as cool as Iori.
He already ties his legs together
You want to lick his nipple.
and somehow makes that cool.
I'm very mechanically driven with the games, so when I think about it, like character designs, it's readability. You need to be able to read a character's actions really well. You need to get an idea for how they're gonna act based on how they look. You know, readability is a really important part of character design. Like, you can make a really neat design, but if it's too noisy, you know, in how it looks, that kind of works to the detriment of video games.
Right. Like, that's something I was going to say. Character designs I typically don't like are the ones just overstuffed with things on them, like Darksiders characters or WoW characters.
I mean, there's also, like, Kingdom Hearts characters have a lot going on, but they have a lot of color contrast to let your eye easily keep track of, like, the limbs or their movement, like whether they're facing you or not is very apparent. Things like that is what I find important to character design, because character design, you can make a great looking character, but the moment it impedes on playability, that's when I get frustrated. So that's what I'm
trying to think of that Final Fantasy Tactics character that everyone posts that looks insane.
The Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced 2 guy that has the pizza cutter sword.
Oh,
Advanced 2 guy.
but like the way he's rendered in game, it doesn't affect it. Like his design is just out
I'm
there.
just
and
thinking
insane.
of how insane this dude looks.
Yeah, and I do enjoy shit like that when it's just like, look at this dumbass. I love him. Yeah, I mean, look at that. He just posted it. Yeah, what a dumbass. Right? I love him.
He also has a regular sword.
I feel like even as insane as that thing is, like that
He
mess,
should have healed.
it's more readable than I have an armor that's like 10 different armors on top of one another. Like Darksider's one guy.
So here's my idiot mode response. How cool your dragon looks, and whether or not it looks like the dragon from Secret of Mana, like if it looks like the Mana Beast or the Luck Dragon from the Neverending Story. If your character design is in fact just straight up that dragon, that'd be cool. That'd be real cool.
Also, if your character has a Hime cut, I'm automatically into them.
See, there we go. We did our highbrow, now for our lowbrow. But okay, what's the next email?
Oh, so this is from M Sage. So with Remake 2 on the horizon and there being credible rumors on Remake 3 already in the works, what are everyone's thoughts on where Capcom should go with Resident Evil in the future?
I'm really glad he asked not remaking 3. That's where I believe they should go in the future.
Why do you say that, Dan?
Because I don't know a single fan who loves 3.
Yeah, 3 just isn't the fan favorite that 2 is.
Yeah, they can, but you know what would be better? Remastering 4.
Or just doing something new.
I don't want them to touch 4, Dan. Please do not curse me in this way.
What?
They will never make 4 as perfect as 4 already is.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Look,
You're asking for a monkey paw situation. You'll break their combo, Dan.
Listen, I'm sure that they could make 4 a more effective horror game, but it's like perfect as an action shooter to me.
It's the one time they nailed that.
Like, and I know why. They got to make that game. They got to waste more money than any other developer in history. They got to make that game 3 times.
And then they released exclusively on the GameCube. How insane is that?
No, they didn't.
No.
That game released on the PlayStation 2 11 months later. It was already in development for the PlayStation 2 when the GameCube version came out.
Based on the quality of that port, I can't say I 100% believe that. That port is rough shit, man.
Who was it? Shinji Mikami that said, "I'll chainsaw my head off if it comes all out on the PS2."
Yeah, and then it did it within 11 months. Yeah, no, it's
like I can't complain about what Capcom is doing with Resident Evil. They started to bring it back with Revelations 2, and then Resident Evil 7 was great, and Resident Evil 2 Remake looks great. I'm sure they'll probably make RE8 before they make Resident Evil 3 Remake.
Thank God.
And I'm sure that'll be
They have to
good
have like
too.
separate teams for that, right? Where they would alternate.
Yeah, I'm sure
Resident Evil
I'm sure they're
games.
like alternating because Resident Evil 7 was only like last January.
Yeah, here's why they can alternate so well. Like, the original novel Resident Evils need a lot more pre-production than just a remake, you know? By the way, shout out to anyone who remembers that Resident Evil 5's main gameplay mechanic hook was originally, if you're out in the sun too long, you'll get really hot and thirsty. Shout out to anyone who remembers that.
I had a coworker when that was coming out who was super excited about that.
He was super excited about Resident Evil.
And tanning.
And tanning? Oh God.
Here's a direction I want it to go. Did any of you guys play the End of Zoe DLC?
No, we still haven't finished 7.
KZ, did you play the End of Zoe DLC?
No, but I watched a Let's Play.
Okay, so Dan and Bob, the End of Zoe DLC, I'm not going to do story spoilers, but you're playing as a swamp strongman who can just beat the shit out of the monsters with his bare hands.
That's amazing.
It's really cool.
And near the end of that DLC, he gets like a cyber death glove to do super punches.
What?
Wait, are they going to make God Hand too?
Yeah, they're gonna make another God Hand.
Oh no.
Here's a thing that's in that DLC. A first-person power bomb. You power bomb a tyrant.
They're just making Breakdown. This game came out like 10 years ago, guys.
Look,
it's on
Bob,
Xbox.
We just got an
It's amazing.
No. We just got an oh no from KZ over God Hand. You think you have any hope with Breakdown?
Look, KZ. Breakdown's probably really boring, but it looks really cool and has a great trailer.
It's a first-person shooter where you kung fu people.
Also, I don't want anyone to think I think God Hand is bad. I own God Hand.
But I absolutely want them to make a spin-off. Just I play as that same character beating up zombies and power bombing tyrants. Like a tyrant tries to punch him and he catches the tyrant's fist and goes like, "Nuh-uh."
This is amazing. I really...
He just catches the punch and goes, impressive!
I want them to do a spin-off series for Resident Evil that is more delving into the action side of things. Like, taking the mechanics that they had in 5 and just expanding those out.
No, Bob, please, God, that's what gave us Raccoon City Operatives.
No, not that kind of action. The kind of action where you shoot the guy and then you kung fu him.
The kind of action where it's not Unity developed and clearly a cash-in.
Yeah. I think going forward, like RE2 wraps, that does well. That team starts working on maybe a third one, unless the other team's already doing that. And then the other game is some spin-off related Resident Evil. That or they just have them work on a different Capcom IP for that second team.
Like Onimusha?
Like Dino Crisis.
I'd be down for that. I mean, they could use the exact same engine as Resident Evil 2 make.
I really love Resident Evil 2. It's probably my favorite in the series. Yeah, I'll go ahead and say that. It's my favorite in the series by a lot. I really would like
do
it.
Some good shit with Nemesis.
If they ground it, they make a new one that's just grounded. Like Resident Evil 2, where it's like really constrained, like, oh, it's a police department. There's some weird shit in here, but it's a police department. And then it slowly lets loose, like, oh shit, sewer gators. Shit like that.
That's kind of what RE7 does.
Yeah. It's just its tone isn't anywhere near the same. Like
how far did you get in RE7?
It's been a while, Phil. We can't accurately tell you.
We just beat the bug boss.
Okay, so you got to the sword fight with chainsaws.
Yes. That was some shit. Oh man.
Capcom makes some video games.
They've been doing a bang up job. So the thought of like, what do you guys think they should do? And I'm just like, they've got it down.
Yeah, they got this.
I could sit back.
Do more stuff like 7, because at the start of 7 there's so many little mini events you can miss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interacting with the bakers, it's weird. Like, did you get the thing where he cuts your leg off?
Yes. Oh my god, that's like moment of that year. The dude hacks your fucking leg off and throws you an antidote, and he's like, "Use it, boy." He's Green Goblining my ass.
Family, son.
And that's completely optional. I didn't get it my first playthrough.
Yeah, we didn't either.
Yeah, we got it.
We got it during we know a guy named Tim, and that guy's insanely good at Resident Evil 7.
No, I got it. We got it in one of them we played alone. I didn't play it when Tim did it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Isn't it great that Capcom has cured their curse?
Yeah, it is great.
Except for fighting games.
The curse of Keiji Inafune.
Right, they've had to flesh him out of their system.
They're working on
for
it.
Fighting
They're
games.
working on it.
Maybe.
Street Fighter 6 on the RE engine. Let's go.
Right.
I don't care how Street Fighter 6 looks as long as it doesn't look like 5. Like, if they want to go full anime and copy Arxis, good. If they want to go full realistic and copy Tekken, good.
Bring back G. I really like G.
Well, he'll just be Q.
And then I'll be happy.
No, I just specifically like G.
And I just specifically like Q. I see we have yet again come to an impasse.
Here's me knowing Street Fighter lore theories. There's the theory that the Qs are G's agents, and G is the actual new villain after Abel. Is that his name? Abel? Two-tone guy?
Urian?
No, Gil.
Gil, that's who I mean. Gil.
Yeah,
Gil.
I'm really upset. Yeah, I don't know why I said Abel. I guess because it's.
I mean, that's a
Cain and
character
Abel
from
thing.
4.
Oh man, people on Twitter are gonna love this part of the podcast.
Well, it's Cain and Abel, so it's like I don't know. I feel like that's a simple mistake to make.
Also, Abel. What the fuck is going on with Abel?
Look, guys, mainly KZ, if you make every fucking second of every show about Phil and his speech, we're gonna be here for another day.
We could do that.
I'm also gonna throw in, since that was the last question. I'm really upset that they never did a season 2 of Street Fighter V Story so that we could see Liam O'Brien as Gil.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe they'll do that in the next game.
Real quick note on Street Fighter V. As much as Phil's sitting here reaming Street Fighter V for how it looks, it's so much fucking worse than that, because I know he is self-described as deaf, dumb, or not dumb, just deaf and blind. There are so many
That's
fucking...
that's only for technical things. I can still tell the quality of art design.
Right, but it's also technically hideous is what I'm going into. There are so many fucking
There's
problems
not
with
enough
it.
ray tracing in Street Fighter V.
You're killing me, KZ. God damn it. But yeah, no.
He's just gonna go. This movie would be better if there was ray tracing in it in the middle of the fucking Recoded movie. Which, speaking of that, we should talk about upcoming things.
Yeah, speaking of upcoming things, we should speak about upcoming things. Hey, KZ, what things do you have upcoming?
All right, so my Kingdom Hearts Let's Play series has started back up because we're approaching the release of 3. So I'm finishing up 0.2. That's coming out every other day. Still working on that Trails stuff. We're gonna be doing that stream on Sunday, and I'll have to make some video out of that. Given the way we're gonna be jumping through titles, I'll have to do some interesting like segments in the editing for that.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from that, I need to try and stream until Kingdom Hearts 3 takes the end of the month and my own life. And that's about it for me.
Mr. Phil?
I'm gonna be on that stream. I'm gonna suffer a lot because
Yeah, he'll be there for the films.
since I'm not going to be on camera, we're going to play the game of let's see who can guess how much Phil has drunk and or imbibed other substances.
Phil,
So that'll be fun. Everybody will get to guess.
is that all you've got upcoming, Mr. Phil?
Yeah, that's all I've got upcoming.
Okay, cool.
I'm kind of booked until at least like the second week of February.
Hey, Bob, what do you have upcoming on that channel, GigaBoots, you run?
Oh, we're doing some streams.
That Bayonetta video?
The Bayonetta video. It's totally happening.
We're gonna be so bored during Recoded. We're all just gonna go to Bob. So Bob, what about Bayonetta? Start talking.
Oh no.
Bob then just pulls out his script and reads it.
There you go. There's my
Here's my Bayonetta video. And then I hit a button and the Mighty Number 9 review plays in the stream. Put it in a tiny box.
You're turning into a statue.
But I hear we're doing a retro game roulette tonight,
Oh, yeah,
Friday,
we
for
are.
the Sega Genesis, so people can stop by and recommend
Are
some
you gonna
Genesis
live,
games they want
dude?
to see. We're doing some recording for some secret projects on Saturday I can't talk about yet, but then on Sunday we're going to be streaming the 358. Wait, no, we're not doing 358, are we?
Yes, we are. We're doing the Recoded movie,
Yeah.
then 358 over 2 days.
And then we're playing 0.2.
Then apparently Bob is
0.2.
going to be chained to a torture rack and beaten until he plays 0.2.
I don't know what's wrong with 0.2. You can play as Aqua.
You get to go around confiscating guns.
Yeah.
It's fun. And then past that, I am done with all these Kingdom Hearts obligations.
Yeah, the only thing you won't experience is Chain of Memories, and that's perfectly acceptable.
It really is.
It's the only one where there's way too much work involved.
I saw the was it Just a Pancake video on that? That's good enough. I'm free of the Kingdom Hearts obligations. The only other obligatory stream we have that it's not gonna happen in January because January's too jam-packed. Super Mario Sunshine. Thanks, Stan the Man and Spaceman Spiff.
You're welcome.
I'm really excited for Resident Evil 2 next Thursday. We're definitely going to do something either Thursday night or Friday morning, more likely. Friday at some time for Resident Evil 2. So look forward to that.
I will.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. This show, like our other podcasts, is only possible with the generous time our co-hosts have given to us and the equipment we've bought to make it higher quality and easier to produce. Please consider supporting our podcast series on our upcoming GigaBoots podcast Patreon and look forward to more gamer premonitions and big things to mention in the future. The executive producers for the months of January 2019 are Fitz Povert, Nicholas Cameron, Ely Boyles, Brendan O'Sullivan, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Danny Richardson, Dwyzart, and Wadanas. Thanks, everybody. And also, these guys, oh, their names are gone. If you want to help us make more videos, go over to patreon.com/GigaBoots today. This is a really catchy song.